Welcome, guys, to the Money in the Bank watch along. I'm your host, always Andy, joined by Nick, El Captain, and Wrestle Buddy Matty. How are we all doing, guys?
Great, really excited. Got a lot of sugar and a lot of crisps to get me through this, so happy days.
I've got some American sweets today.
Oh, what you
Have
got,
you?
Andy?
Laffy Taffy.
Oh, you got the long Laffy
That
Taffy.
stuff's lovely.
Glad to be back.
looking
Hated that I
forward to
missed the
mooching
show
on
last
that.
month.
It's like a giant chew it, but better.
Right.
What was that, Brandon?
I was saying, hated that I missed the cell last month, but I'm glad to be back. Salute to my tribal chief, Andy. Nice to see you again. And my
As always, mate.
to welcome back my brother and my Rumble brother, Matthew. Welcome back, man. We miss you more than you could ever know.
I'm happy
It's
to be
never
back.
the same without our Matt.
I am happy to be back. While the show is just starting up,
You
I
didn't look
just want to
better than you
remind
did the last time I saw you had bags under your eyes the size of suitcases. You actually look like you've gotten some sleep.
Yeah, it's been a wild month and a half. I think it's been about that long. But I'm happy to be back on screen with you guys. Take mental health seriously, guys. It's very important that you keep you guys, like I
Hell
say,
yeah.
safe, healthy, and hydrated.
Hell yes. I know what you feel, Matt. I'm a medicated schizophrenic, so I firmly believe in mental health. Everyone should look after themselves to the utmost possibilities because it is something to be taken very seriously.
It's kind of amazing when you think how far we've come as a society where 125 years ago, mental health was, the guy's just, weak or a pansy or he's, touched in the head. After 125 years of science, Sigmund Freud, and a lot of medication, we've actually arrived to a point to where we realize that diseases up here are just as significant as diseases here,
If not more.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is the engine. I mean, well, the heart's kind of your engine, but this is no problem.
Either that keeps everything running.
Yeah, you don't want to. You want to take care of the captain up there. You want to make sure the helm is steered appropriately away from the iceberg.
Hey, I know people like to give WWE shit a lot, but this is a full crowd.
Yeah, it is. Mind you, it was bound to be. They'd already sold this many tickets before they changed venue.
That's right. I forget.
Exactly.
Yeah, we should mention that this got moved from Allegiant Stadium,
Yes.
the place of the Vegas Raiders,
My Raiders.
to MGM Grand.
I think this is a better venue anyway. I don't think everything needs a stadium. Everything doesn't need a stadium.
Yeah.
We don't always need a stadium for these shows. It's not SummerSlam. It's not one of the big four. It doesn't necessarily need to be in a stadium.
And you know that they're wanting to treat it as like a big five now.
Yeah.
But like,
Well, and also
it's fine that they don't do it this show. And
think
MGM
about
Grand is a
the pro
fantastic
wrestling history at the MGM Grand. I mean, Halloween Havoc was held there every year. You had a lot of nitros that were held there.
It's held Mania.
The MGM Grand held Mania. Oh,
I'm pretty sure it held it in the early years, did it not?
WrestleMania 9 was Caesar's Palace.
Ah,
Yeah.
that's what it was.
Well, it was the car park of Caesar's Palace. Let's not
Well, it was
forget
an outlaw show in many respects.
It's an outlaw mud show. That's what it was.
When
And
Giant
it's possibly the
Gonzalez
worst
was on the
WrestleMania of all time.
When El Giant Gonzalez is on the card, you know it's an outlaw mud show.
Bob Backlund versus Razor Ramon, and they didn't have a good match.
Hey, one stop.
Mr. Perfect versus Lex Luger was terrible. It was not a good show.
I hate this.
Good, just like Jimmy predicted.
Reality.
No, I can't stand that stuff.
That thing
But like
gives
Jimmy
me
said,
nightmares.
we're starting with the women's Money in the Bank. Who's your picks, boys? You should already know mine, Nandy's. We did them live on YouTube last night.
So, I love Becky Lynch's character right now. I absolutely love it.
She's a replicant from Blade Runner. It's amazing. What is she wearing?
I have no idea. In terms of picks,
Guys, I'm just going to drop out for 1 minute. I'm just having some connectivity issues.
no
Okay,
worries.
Andy, no worries. We'll hold it
back.
down.
In terms
She's dressed
of
like a replicant from Blade Runner mixed with a Power Rangers villain.
Yeah, I see the Power Rangers in there.
It's like Yoko Ono took one too many hits of LSD. Although I have always loved Becky Lynch, I will always love Becky Lynch. I'm just not into the outfits right now. I like the character. I just can't stand the.
That's the point, Cap.
Now I think this is just my headcanon. I really hope whoever enters last for this match doesn't show up. Like, they don't come out.
Okay, why?
Because I heard we've got a certain someone who hasn't been on TV in a very long time.
Oh, you mean Bailey?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I heard about Bailey.
She's in Vegas.
Yeah, I know she is.
And if she shows up as the last person for this match, replacing whoever doesn't show up, that's my pick. If it's not her, okay. I went for Asuka.
Well, no, you see, Asuka's won it before, and at the moment it doesn't really behoove her to have that briefcase. Mm-hmm. Becky should not win under any circumstances because it continues the character of her downfall into insanity. You give this match to Liv Morgan. She's worked her ass off. She's worked her ass off for over 2 years now. She's massively improved, but she's missing that one thing.
And speaking
that
of,
would take her.
Here she is.
Winning
so
money on the roof.
She's not the one getting taken out.
No, winning money on the roof.
Had Ripley been in this, she would have been my pick. But
right, just to make sure we're all time sync, guys. I've got Asuka on the ropes dancing. What about you?
I've got Liv entering, so I can actually pause.
Well, I've just hit Liv's entrance music now.
All right. I've got Becky Lynch looking up. Let me know when you guys have that.
Okay. They changed Liv Morgan's music again.
Again?
They've remixed it again.
Remixed.
Yeah, I got Becky looking up.
I just realized this is the first for me. I've watched many Money in the Bank.
Okay, Becky's looking up.
Okay. I've watched many Money in the Banks, but this is actually the first time I've watched it live. So this is the first for me. Yeah.
Yeah, I try to keep up with the Money in the Banks live just because these are one of my favorite events.
It's a gimmick. Well, see, the ladder match is a gimmick. Money in the Bank is a gimmick. It's like an over-gimmick, which is why I don't really like it that much.
But it's Chris Jericho's most genius creation.
Agreed. I mean, it's replaced the King of the Ring for all intents and purposes.
Kind of.
Which I think sucks because I'm an old school guy.
I would agree, and I love me a tournament.
I love tournaments.
That's one of the reasons I don't piss on AEW that much, because they have tournaments every other week.
And again, a gimmick that you overdo a gimmick. You should. It's like Money in the Bank wouldn't be a bad thing. You know, I know it's a once in a year thing.
What in the fuck is that?
Oh my god.
Yeah, this Lacey's reality stuff has got.
I love the way Lacey's push has just been stopped dead.
Bro, what the fuck is her gimmick now?
Now she's an American hero. She's female Lex Luger, but she was actually in the military.
Well, speaking of push, I think the puppies are about to push right out of the doghouse. That outfit's pretty tight.
What's up, Russ? How you doing?
Hey, Russ. Good to see you, buddy. Thanks for joining us.
People in the chat, give us your guys' predictions. Who do you guys think is going to win this match?
Go on, Russ. What do you think? Shotzi ain't winning this.
No, but Shotzi's probably going to do something crazy in this match.
She'll have a good match, but she's still in trouble for selling pictures of her excrement online.
Super excited because this is 3 of the 4 guys that are going to be next Saturday for episode 3 of the Captain's Table. Looking forward to getting to.
I'm looking forward to getting back to that show.
Cheap promo, Clash 88, how to do a Broadway. It's going to be amazing. The match that got me into wrestling. If it wasn't for Clash 88, I wouldn't even be a fan. It was the first wrestling match I ever watched. I was 5 years old.
It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be stupendous.
I cannot do this goddamn augmented reality.
No, it's terrible.
It's like, see, that one for Alexa there. That reminds me of the big blowy inflated thing at the car dealership, you know, that waves around and
Right. What exactly is Alexa's gimmick now? Because she seems to have gone back to the old Alexa, but she
we were
still
just
carries
back in
around that
mental health.
stupid ass doll.
I don't think her psychiatry or her medication and or both are working.
I could also see Alexa winning it just because WWE have no idea what the fuck they're doing right now.
They haven't done anything with her in what, 8 months?
Yep.
Well, see, fortunately, Vince
Come
was
on, Bailey.
the CEO, but unfortunately, he's still running creative, so it's kind of rough.
Damn.
Yeah, seriously, for the sake of the company, Vince needs to sod off for a while. Like,
For the sake of pro wrestling, Vince needs to sod off for a while.
at the same
Speaking of
time, for
Vince-
the sake of pro wrestling, Tony Khan needs a booking committee.
Yeah. Tony Khan needs a lot of things. Right now, he needs healthy CM Punk and
I cannot believe the current injury list in wrestling. It's insane.
It feels like
Well, it happens,
2007,
though. I mean, that's just one of
2008
those things
all
that
over
happens.
again.
And we have these moments where, for a 6-8 month period, you get half a dozen top studs that are just, you know, they be
Oh,
gone.
Becky going for the rock bottom early.
Good back fists from Asuka.
Speaking of Vince, I actually need to
Big
touch
hip attack.
base with one of my sources and find something out here.
HP does not count as a source, Brandon.
If you think I'm going to sit here and try to read tea leaves and replacing the leaves with a bottle of HP, whew. Of all the things I've lost, I miss my mind the most, but I haven't lost all of it.
Becky put some green in her hair. That looks a little interesting.
Well, she does like to synergize with her outfits, shall we say. That would have hurt.
That could have been real bad.
Oh, Bulldog onto the ladder.
Did you notice in the pre-show, the package they played about Natalia's lineage, they happily left out Owen and Davey?
Yes. But I think we're all in agreement that Ronda Rousey under every circuit. What is Raquel doing? That's not going to work. They're underneath. She's stepped in the ladder.
I have no idea what Raquel is doing.
She's trying to do the Three Stooges thing, but she's obviously never seen an episode of the Three Stooges. Okay,
I always
that was,
preferred the Marx Brothers.
Oh, we also have a Wex. So if you want to take a dab.
yeah, Three Stooges, Marx Brothers.
Hey,
we got,
Andy.
See, what was it? We got Laurel
What
and
in
Hardy.
the fuck was she doing? Oh,
What
she
in
actually
the
caught that to the
hell?
mouth.
Oh my god, double teaming.
Is she high?
It's
Or
too
is it
high.
Stupid.
I'm going to move after this match.
Ow. Double suplex onto the ladder. Painful.
Those
I think
always
Raquel's
look ridiculously painful just because you like land ass in that
Yeah.
portion
Small
of
of
the
your
ladder.
back. The small of your back cracks straight on the side.
Yeah, it has to hurt so bad.
Oh, it does. I broke my tailbone a week before Halloween last year. It hurts like a bitch.
Yeah, I broke my tailbone a few years ago doing a jumping elbow drop off a trampoline onto the floor. Not a clever idea.
Oh,
Ooh. I got a stinger once on a trampoline. I was paralyzed for a few minutes. That was not pleasant.
No. Trampolines are insanely fun, but damn can they be dangerous. I got a mate did a moonsault on one. He went from one side to the other and came down ankles first on the rim of the trampoline, tore all the ligaments in both his legs.
teaming up on the bigger person in the match. Gonna
Sensible.
see a lot of that in the
Shotzi failed.
Botcha Mania. Again? What was that?
I think it was supposed to be a DDT.
Andy, you think with what's going on with Russia, we might get us the U.S. Army girl to win it?
It's possible, but I think we're beyond the ability to bring politics into wrestling and do it tastefully.
I would seriously hope so.
Well, this is a scrappy match so far.
I was going to say, the one redeeming factor about this match is Doudrop is nowhere to be found.
Hey, don't you wrong on my girl. She is a lovely woman.
Yeah, wasn't Doudrop supposed to be in this match?
Until Becky beat her the other week on Raw. I think it was Becky.
Doudrop may be a phenomenal human being. She's just a crappy wrestler.
No, she's really not, dude.
No, she's actually really good.
You need to watch her work. Yeah, watch her when she was Viper on the Indies. That girl can go.
WWE do not let her work.
No, in the slightest.
Tasteful and Vince do not go hand in hand.
Very good point, Andy. Tasteful and Vince do not go hand in hand.
They look at her and win, big girl. They win, big girl. She can do big girl things.
You're into your old school wrestling, Brandon. You know who Klondike Kate is?
Who?
Klondike Kate.
I don't recall. I remember Klondike Bill, but I don't remember Klondike Cake.
Klondike Kate was the original big woman in professional wrestling over here in World of Sport. And Viper, Doudrop, has flipping modelled her entire career after her. She's exceptional.
I remember a big girl I really liked was Bull Nakano. She had
Bull Nakano's dope.
Pretty cool matches. Her and Medusa at Hog Wild 96 in the motorcycle match, which I know that statement sounds ridiculous, but it was a great match. The winner got to take a sledgehammer to the opponent's motorcycle, and it was pretty cool watching Deuce back in her prime take a sledgehammer to the Kawasaki and then ride off on the Harley.
I always preferred her Alundra Blaze run.
You preferred Alundra over Medusa?
I think her and Bull had better matches when she was Alundra than they did when she was Medusa.
I thought she had some. I mean, she had great matches as both, but as Medusa, it was just doubly better to look at if you catch my drift. The enhancements had been done by that point.
Yeah, but unfortunately, they don't enhance your talent.
I thought, no, it doesn't enhance your talent, but I thought she still had good matches, even though carrying around that extra buoyancy.
Yeah, you can say the same thing about Charlotte.
Oh yeah, I was thinking about that last night. I was watching one of Charlotte's matches, and I was thinking, oh, where's Nick with the wardrobe count, the wardrobe adjustments?
Surprisingly, Jock's watch has not been that intense in this match, but I will tell you now, come Ronda Rousey, Natalya, we are in for a field day.
Oh dear!
Everybody, just pay attention to how many times Ronda adjusts her gear. It is insane. That woman cannot find wrestling attire that she clearly feels comfortable in because she adjusts it every 30 seconds throughout a match without fail. She'll do it before the match starts.
Yeah. I want Natalya to clamp that sharpshooter on and just make her squeal.
Well,
I'm so sick of Ronda.
I'm so sick of Natty.
Oh.
Natty has been a gatekeeper for 10 years? And she's never had the charisma or natural talent to be considered a top girl.
No, I always thought she was a good wrestler. Charisma-wise.
Of course she's a good wrestler. She's kind of a heart. All the hearts are flipping good wrestlers.
At some point, I think I heard them say on the pre-show something like, yeah, she's a heart. She trained in the dungeon. Like, okay, at some point, there's going to be a heart who didn't train in the dungeon because Stu croaked
Teddy.
10 years ago?
Teddy didn't train in the dungeon.
Oh, Teddy didn't?
Nope. And it shows, too. That's why he's wanted for murder.
Maddie, what would you give to just be able to time travel and spend an afternoon getting stretched in the dungeon by Stu?
Oh, it'd be amazing.
Andy.
Yeah, I would agree, Andy. It's probably a good call at the moment. An empowered ex-soldier as a woman's champ is...
That's the one I'm laughing at.
See? Thank you. Andy knows what he is talking about. Andy knows what he's talking about. She's half a heart. She's terrible. Right, let's all just move on and accept the fact that she's going to get squashed by Ronda tonight. The only thing I said on the prediction show last night, a good thing about it, is the fact that there is a bit of story there because Natty trained Ronda, and I'm hoping they bring that up on commentary during the match. So far, they haven't brought it up at all.
Well, you also have to remember,
It's
Michael
the SmackDown
Cole is on
rivalry, right?
commentary,
Do you
which
think Pat
means the
McAfee will bring
commentary
it
is
up?
gonna suck. It looks
Ow.
like this poor girl is tied up in. I mean, I was a Boy Scout, and even I never learned how to tie a knot like that.
Well, I'm quite surprised because you would have thought that Raquel would have done the typical biggest girl in the match, power her way through everybody.
Oh,
Ooh.
Alexa, are you okay?
Oh, that didn't go well.
Oh, I think.
That's two botches. That's two major botches from Shotzi in one match.
Good God.
And people wonder why she doesn't get pushed.
Yeah, because she's freaking gonna kill somebody.
Yeah, that was not good.
What's the Nick, you remember?
So you show a replay of it.
The Hippocratic Oath. First do no harm. In wrestling, it's sort of the same. When you become a wrestler, you sort of take that Hippocratic Oath. Above everything, you never, hurt your opponent. Accidents happen, but you never intentionally do it, or you work your craft to where you're good enough to do it. And there's just some, like in MJF's pipe bomb. I love how he made the point that he can tell a story without having to do just ridiculously
Massive botch, Andy.
risky things. There is so much green on this screen that it's kind of affecting my oculars at this point. I know it's money, green, but like all the ladies are wearing green. The place is lit up like green. Whew. Come on, Becky. Come on. Oh.
That ladder has seen some better days.
Yeah.
So is Becky after that. Ooh, I must grab another beverage. Thank God I'm down in my rec room as opposed to my office, so my fridge is about 10 steps away.
Oh,
nice.
No. Shotzi's going to do that senton thing and land right on the
Yeah,
ladder.
she is, and she's going to miss.
It's going to hurt. Oh, she hit the back of her fucking head on it.
That's because even when she's supposed to protect herself, she's no good. Oh, Oscar's on it. There comes Raquel.
Come on, Oscar.
No way Raquel's going to win after getting no offense.
Do you see the smile she had climbing up that ladder?
Oh, God. She needs to stop smiling.
I
know the whole thing.
Smiling.
No, I know the whole thing in WWE is Vince likes baby faces to smile, but Raquel Rodriguez is supposed to be this big, angry monster, and she walks down the ring. Hi, how are you? I'm so excited to be here. It doesn't fit the character, like in any way, shape, or form.
I'm so surprised they didn't bring up like how they had her from NXT.
Yes, but that's because she was in NXT, dude.
Right,
No one gets brought up the same way they were in NXT. I mean, they might now. Now we've got 2.0, and they're literally molding stars for the main roster. But Solo Sikoa's due to get called up.
I don't think a lot of these women have worked a ladder before.
Well, Oscar has, Becky has, Liv hasn't.
No, Liv was in last year.
Was Liv in last year's?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Liv has. Raquel, as far as I know, hasn't been anywhere near a ladder in her career.
At least not in a wrestling event.
That was impressive.
Yeah, she's a strong girl.
Well, yeah, she shows up her shoulders all the damn time.
Pa-bum! No.
Ooh. I guess as much as I find Asuka's costumes sometimes completely outrageous, I've always it's like Asuka kind of gets away with it with me. It's like I give her a pass because they're kind of outrageous, but she makes it work.
Billy Stark. You watch GCW, right, Matt?
Mm-hmm.
Billy Starks.
Yeah, I've interviewed her.
She literally looks like she wears Oscar's old ring gear.
Mm-hmm.
It's identical costuming.
Where do you go to get secondhand ring? Like you go to like Goodwill or thrift stores to get secondhand clothing. Where do you go to get secondhand ring gear? Is
the eBay, mate.
Becky.
What is Becky doing? I mean, that is a Jeff Hardy ladder.
Yep. Yeah,
As far as
speaking
I
of
know, Becky hasn't been
Jeff
pulled
Hardy,
over recently.
Well, the people are screaming Becky's name.
Oscar, are you okay?
Oscar's fine. That was safe as houses. Becky broke. She literally slid off her. She landed
yeah.
ass first. Watch. Look how close that is to slipping, just missing it. So well done.
I think
Yeah, that was perfect.
I think Lynch injured her posterior on that plunge.
No. Becky's such a pro.
Like we believe Shotzi's gonna win this match.
God, no.
Did Asuka have a wardrobe malfunction there? She was holding a
No.
particular part of her gear there. I couldn't quite tell.
Is that blood on Shotzi's face, or is it just a
I
makeup?
told you she hit the back of her head.
Ah, yeah, she really did.
That may not be good. Let's take another look at this replay. Oh, yikes!
Yeah, that was right as you walked away.
Well, that's an awful lot of ladders for this match.
See, that's another thing that, and I know it started with the TLC thing, but it's gone. You remember like the original? There was like one ladder in the walkway, and then there was one under the ring. Now it's just like there's ladders everywhere.
Yeah, but you're like me. You prefer the old Shawn Michaels, Razor Ramon ladder matches to the more modern stuff because it's you using the ladder as a tag team partner.
You're over gimmicking the gimmick. Yeah, it's like.
Yeah,
Okay,
but what you got to realize, you can't have one ladder with 6 people for the simple reason that they will break that ladder.
Yeah, but I mean, you keep the spares under the ring or like out of sight. You know, you don't when they're just all out there. It's like, oh yes, we get it. It's a ladder match.
Yeah, but it's a spectacle, Brandon, and you've got to create that spectacle.
It's a spectacle, but it's not spectacular. I was just doing a play on words there.
It's okay.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I just couldn't resist the opportunity. The linguist in me just has to give that a shot.
Well done, Liv.
There we go, Liv.
Oh, nice. Your
Go on,
serve,
Liv.
my serve.
Yes! Picked it right. Always happy when I make the right pick. Chuffed.
Ah.
Yes.
Yeah,
You picked. That's the same pick you made last night, isn't it, Andy?
And Britney Spears has won Money in the Bank 2022.
Oh, she's got way more talent than Britney.
That I will probably agree with.
I mean, a blind chimpanzee with numb hands has more talent than Britney Spears, but
we had a gym coach in high school. One of his favorite phrases was the blind squirrel even finds an acorn once in a while.
yeah, both want to know.
Well, I see. What do I rate that match?
I'd give that a solid 4 stars. 3.5.
I'm going more 2.5, closer to 3. 2 and 3. Let's go 2 3/4. Let's split the difference.
Yeah, I'll go to it.
I had my whole gimmick planned. I had my bottle of HP, but then I realized, oh crap, I'm out of malt vinegar, so I was going to do my rating system that way, but crap.
Hello, Cloud.
I'm well happy for her, Liv. I think this is exactly what she needs to get her to that next level. And hopefully,
I'm not upset with this outcome. I mean,
oh yes, no, go back. That's what we need to see. Did you look at Becky? Becky is breaking down outside of the ring.
I mean, Becky's over like Rover. Liv does need some kind of a boost, so.
Yeah, well, Jimmy is right. The entire reason for Becky's downfall is because she's going to realise that she's gone down the wrong path.
Mm-hmm.
And she's going to have to become the man again to fix things. This is all leading to Becky Lynch's eventual return to the man gimmick and a face turn.
I would much prefer the man to Yoko Ono 2.0, so I have no problem with that, and I pray to God that the king is right.
He's always right.
Yeah, Jimmy's
King.
pretty good when it comes to this prediction bullshit.
Yeah, he's like our resident Nostradamus.
Yep. His quatrains know no bounds.
Now, if only Jimmy could tell us where Royal Rumble's going to be this year.
Right now, the favorite is San Antonio. I've heard Miami, but
I heard Phoenix.
I am not going out to Phoenix.
I don't even know where that is. So
Arizona.
I mean, it's not too far from me, if I'm going to be honest, but I am not going out to Phoenix.
yes, Liv is over massively, Andy. I completely agree.
Although I looked at SummerSlam is about 8 hours east of me in Nashville, but I know
a month, 28 days away.
Well, whenever I switched jobs, I only have so much vacation time in my first year.
Yeah,
and I've already got a Jack White concert in August. I've got days off for a Greta Van Fleet concert in November. I've got to take days off for.
I agree. Should be in London. Oh, they're showing this again.
I would.
By the way, this promo package is the reason Seth is my pick for Money in the Bank.
Well, see, right now I'm watching an Applebee's commercial, so.
We got a Cody Rhodes package.
Shove it up your cheese stick.
It's not my fault you have an inferior streaming service.
Wait, hold on, Brandon.
Hey! I'm watching the same cock you are.
Yeah, I was about to say, how do you have an Applebee's commercial? Because I've got the Cody Rhodes promo.
You guys get Cody Rhodes, I get Applebee's. That has got to be just the ultimate slap in the face.
Sorry, bro. You came to Applebee's. We're all out of apples.
Well, it's also 7:33 p.m. here in Arkansas. I'm wearing a black long sleeve T-shirt and my traditional black jacket for our programs, and it's 90 degrees.
Well,
so I'm already suffering enough.
It's about 18 degrees here. It is 1:33 a.m. and I am wearing a pair of checkered house pants and a Matt Riddle T-shirt. I'm completely comfortable.
So you're in bro mode.
That's Matt Riddle's.
Yeah, I've got my AC on, but like I say, this time of year, this headband, it ain't just for show. It's to catch some sweat because I am burning up right now.
Exactly.
But I got.
He's right. You guys get the thing is this year you guys get every other pay-per-view. We get Clash at the Castle. We get arguably what is going to be the biggest show of the year outside of WrestleMania.
I wish they would do more shows in the UK because they used to do at least like a couple a year, like big.
Yeah, but no. They Rebellion, etc. were and Unforgiven. What was it? Unforgiven? They were completely glorified house shows. Nothing ever important happened. No titles changed hands, and you could predict every single match 3 weeks before the show went out without fail. Clash at the Castle is going to be.
John beat Davey for the year. There's a title change.
Really? Really? You bring up that travesty? In front of his home family, in front of his hometown, Sean's ego gets in the way and takes the belt, and you bring up that to an Englishman.
You mentioned no titles ever changed hands. That was the damn one I could remember.
That was the first English show since SummerSlam 92. Name one after that.
I can't.
Exactly. Now back to my point. This Clash at the Castle is going to be the first legitimate big show we've had since SummerSlam 92. It's a legitimate stadium show in front of a legitimate crowd of tens of thousands of people. It's already sold out. There's going to be like 70,000 fans there. It's going to be as big as Mania, but it's going to be over here.
Which stadium are they holding it at?
Andy, help me out here. I can't remember the name of the stadium in Cardiff.
Not Wembley.
It's in Wales, mate. They're holding it in Wales. Which is ironic.
That's where all the James Bonds are from. All the James Bonds are Welsh.
That's because Welsh people are quite good at their job.
I've got to take that bucket list trip to the UK and Scotland and Ireland. I've got to do it.
Scotland's only good for one thing. If you want to experience every type of weather that exists in one day.
I'm down for that.
Well, there's another great... we actually broke up, but my most recent girlfriend for my birthday in January bought me a bottle of my favorite.
Gutted to me.
Damn.
How you doing?
And I've still got it in my liquor cabinet because It's like Johnny
It's at the
Walker.
It's at the Clash at the Castles at the Principality in Cardiff. Thank you, Andy.
Can I ask, what is Vince McMahon's obsession with watching Bobby Lashley flex?
Latent homosexuality?
He loves the beef. Vince just loves the beef. You got to remember, Vince McMahon didn't want to make. Vince McMahon never wanted to make a wrestling company. He wanted to make a bodybuilding federation. It just failed miserably.
Yeah, Ica Pro wasn't exactly a household name for very long.
That's putting it mildly.
Yeah, a federal indictment and a grand jury will tend to do that to your business endeavors. But whatever this whole scandal is like, the federal government couldn't take Vince down. You think a sex scandal is going to do it?
Well, I would have said no. But recently, the woman he raped in 1994 has been re-interviewed, and a former wrestler who refuses to give their name has corroborated the fact that Vince did sexually assault that woman.
I have not heard this story.
I have. And if this is coming up again now, Vince McMahon's in a lot deeper shit than he realizes. Like, yes. He's probably going to come out of it smelling his roses because he's a billionaire and he's got the best lawyer in the universe. Johnny McDevitt deserves the Nobel Prize.
Yeah.
But every empire has to fall at some point. It just depends on how ugly the collapse is.
Well, I don't necessarily think that WWE has to collapse. I just think it needs a major retuning and, pardon the pun, attitude change. They need to get back to being a professional wrestling promotion as opposed to...
Never going to happen. Never going to happen. It's a sports entertainment company. It's a sports entertainment company for life. What Vince has presented has not been professional wrestling since 1996.
Well, see, I mean, we could get there eventually. I mean, you know, Vince is going to croak within, 30 years? Stephanie, she'll probably live to be 100. So maybe in 150 years, you know, we'll get back to, you know, professional wrestling. I think Paul, you know, Triple H would take it closer to that. But unfortunately, he can't book his way out of a wet paper bag. So it's like...
No, I'm going to butcher your name here, dude. I do apologize. But Deshaun, in the comments, has basically hit his nail on the head. WWE will never fall. It's too big. It's publicly traded. They get rid of the figurehead. They just bring in somebody else. Right? This has the potential to steal the show.
Oh, yeah. And I
agree.
Theory. I'm going with Theory.
At first, I hated this guy. But in the last... Since WrestleMania, you know, the match he had... WrestleMania, like, I have become a big-time Austin Theory. Again, I hate the gimmick. The gimmick sucks, but he can work in the ring. Like, I like to watch his matches.
In the ring.
Yeah.
I like me some Theory. I never thought I'd say that, but
it's funny because he was one of Seth's minions, if everybody remembers, when Buddy was one of his minions. And he just didn't fit that role at all. He just felt totally out of place, and as if they just shoehorned him in there to get him on TV. And I think they used it as a test bed to see how people would react to him, heel or face. And this angle, now that Vince has taken a backseat and he's started to run with it himself, really has potential to take this kid far.
Between Elimination Chamber and Mania, I was like, I'm behind this guy. I want to see Theory succeed. He's got something.
See, Deshaun, you say all that Steph needs is Triple H's help, but Triple H is already back in the company and nothing's changed because he doesn't have...
Well, this is unconfirmed from a very good source of mine, but supposedly from what I've heard is Hunter is only back in name only. He is not all that involved.
Yeah.
But that's
he already said a year ago, well, 6 months ago, didn't he, after his heart attack or cardiac event, that he didn't want to be as involved. That he didn't want to be as involved anymore because it was too much stress on his family and on his physical self. So I can see Triple H literally being more of a, I don't know what's the best way to put this, figurehead.
Now,
anything else.
with that, sorry, Captain, but with that Cena Theory thing, I have heard reports that they might be postponing that
To
till
Mania.
maybe Mania.
I
So
don't know.
I don't know,
think-
but if they do postpone it to WrestleMania, then I don't think that'll allow it to have a much better story than just, hey, this kid won the U.S. title real early. He looked up to Cena. Here's the match with him versus Cena while he's young.
Agreed, and I think
Did you watch Raw on Monday?
Cena being the guy he is would happily do the job for Theory.
Oh yeah. Did you watch Raw on Monday?
Which part of Raw? Because I watched bits and
The
pieces.
Cena Theory interaction.
Yes,
I didn't get to see it.
Yes,
I did see their interaction.
There's already heat there.
Mhm.
Those two work well. I know it's a stupid thing to say, but they've got chemistry on camera.
Oh yeah,
Right.
I saw some highlights, but I didn't see it live. You know,
John's got chemistry with most people on camera. He's just always been that good. But for a young guy to be able to share the screen
That's
with John Cena and not cram up.
Wait, no, let me see that.
and
No, that one's
again,
Zach's.
a great point about Theory. I mean, and again, why I love John Cena, because I've always hated the gimmick, but I love him as a guy and as a wrestler. His work is fantastic, and I think he and Theory at Mania next year in Hollywood would be great, and John would have no problem, I think.
Yeah, Tim, we're all synced up. We've just got Bobby and Theory across from each other in the ring, and the bells just rang.
And an augmented reality belt by just slapping me in the face.
Don't even start. I hate them. I think we all share the same opinion of the AR graphics. That
So bad.
they're all fucking terrible.
The only one, there is one that I saw that was decent, and I think it's Lashley's Lightning that goes around the arena. That's the only one that I dig.
I can't stand Riddles. Riddles
The
drive
birds?
me up the wall.
The birds?
Yeah, the
Or are
birds,
we talking
dude.
about the stone snake?
I'm talking about the birds.
Yeah.
Right? I don't like the stone snake much either. But the birds / elephants / giraffes / all the other random animals that they have come out of his feet, when all he
Frogs
wanted was
one?
wild. Yeah, all he wanted was wild horses because he's a stallion.
Don't forget the camel.
Oh, no, don't get me wrong, I loved that camel. I was just gutted that Vince turned around to Randy and said, you can't ride a camel,
Yeah, it
because
doesn't
Randy
fit your
Orton doesn't
character.
ride camels.
Yeah, it doesn't fit Randy Orton to ride a camel, Randy,
Yeah.
but I would totally ride a fucking camel.
Bobby
Yeah.
Heenan rode a camel pretty well, speaking of that WrestleMania 9.
That was backwards, though.
Gets home. No, I better not make that joke.
We are live on YouTube. Monetization, Brandon. Monetization.
Oh, hey, trust me, I caught myself before I put that one out.
Alright, so how do we think Theory's going to survive this? Because he's not going to beat Bobby, surely.
Oh, yeah, he is. He's going to roll him up.
I don't know. I think he might get himself DQ'd.
I can totally see a DQ victory, but if it's a DQ victory, then I lose. Because my brother went for Liv, and I went for Theory, and he went for Lashley. So if Lashley wins by any means necessary, I only held the predictions title since the AEW pay-per-view. Not Forbidden Door, the one before.
Ah,
So I've held the title for roughly a month and a half.
you need to get an actual belt, man.
We've got that replica Big Gold.
That doesn't count. You need an actual belt. Make one.
Make one.
Make one. It can be done out of cardboard. It doesn't really matter.
Oh, I've got my cardboard back brace one. Trust me, I've
Matty deserves better than cardboard, man.
I've
we need
done
the
that.
leather and the metal.
I've done that gimmick. Wow, money in the botch. Am I right, guys?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh!
I
Good.
love that spot.
God.
I love that spot.
It's a fantastic move. Sounds great.
I think with the best person to ever take that move was Kofi. When he did it to Kofi for the first time. Kofi did
Yeah,
like 3
Kofi
spins
did the
in air.
360.
Kofi can move, especially like the ongoing thing with his Rumble near eliminations, but then the epic botch that.
That was still so tragic that happened at
The
the one
cock
that
up
we
last
went
year.
to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was unfortunate.
Of course, it had to be the one that me and Brandon and Devin went to. We were like, "Oh, what's Kofi gonna do? What's he gonna do? He's gonna fuck up. That's what he's gonna do."
There was that was an interesting event for my first pro wrestling event to go to, and it was like so cool, being there with Shane coming out, for the Rumble, and then
Bro,
seeing,
you were literally one number off whenever you predicted when he'd come out.
I mean, Roman and Seth was great, but then there were some other matches where I literally fell asleep because I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna take a snooze here. This is that bad.
Well, I can't promise I'm not going to fall asleep during the SummerSlam main event.
It's the last time.
Yeah,
it's
that's what they said last time. That's what they said last time.
Standing.
This is what they said last time. Now they're trying to spin it as Brock versus Roman is the defining rivalry of this era. It's not. It's just the most overbooked nonsense that they've done in 10 years.
It's the match that they
That's
forced
probably
down our
my
throats
favorite
for
20
the past
seconds
5,
of
6
Nick
years.
that I've heard since I joined WrestleBuddy.
All right, I will be right back, my friends.
No worries, Matt.
We'll hold it down. Yeah, that was probably the greatest promo you've cut since I've started working with you, sir. I love that.
Thank you.
Yeah, Brock and Roman. I was talking to a buddy of mine about a week. He's like, man, what are they going to do for SummerSlam? I was like, oh, they're going to do Brock and Roman again. He was like, you're kidding me. And this guy grew up watching wrestling like literally the same time as I did, like 95, 96.
Yeah. Same with my brother. My brother's 3 years older than me, so he's been watching it longer than I have.
Yeah.
And he doesn't pay much attention to WWE anymore. He's more of an AEW New Japan guy. But I keep him up to date with what's going on in WWE. When I told him it was Brock versus Roman again, he went, oh, buy me a fucking ticket. In the most sarcastic way humanly possible. Because realistically, nobody wants to see it again. I don't care if it's last man standing.
It was like a big WTF, it's like, why does Vince just like not believe in booking anything other than that for big man events? I was like,
no, he just has an emergency in case of emergency, break glass for Brock button.
Yeah, it used to, it was kind of for Taker there for a while, but also at the same time we mentioned the injury list right now, he kind of has no other choice. So that's why I'm giving Vince a little bit of a pass here because...
Well, we all know it was built into Cody.
Yeah.
And obviously, Cody being the number one babyface, getting severely injured for 9 months, derailed the plans of the whole company.
Yeah. I mean, you've got to go with SummerSlam, an event of that level, you've got to go with the best money match you can. So I give Vince a pass for doing this. I just hope it's better than what we got at Mania. Obviously, Roman hurt his shoulder. So that was, you know what?
I actually enjoyed the Mania match more than I enjoyed their previous match. I thought the previous match was
last
just...
one before that?
SummerSlam... Was it SummerSlam? Hang on, I'm going to Google this.
Well,
Anyone in the comments, help me out. When was Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar's last match before WrestleMania?
Well, again, I'm not going to judge that match too harshly because one of the guys got, hurt during the match. And when that happens, all bets are off. It's like, you got to get through it as best you can get through it. But I would like to, if they're going to do one last hoorah, I'd at least like to see it be done well, and maybe a last man standing match would be the proper vehicle for that. Maybe. I don't know.
They've had 7 matches, Brandon. 7. This will be the 8th match. And those matches have taken place in a... Let me just check. Since 2012.
So this will be the 8th match in 10 years.
No. It won't be in 10 years because they haven't had one match a year.
You said
2012 was their first match.
Yeah, 8 matches in 10 years.
Yeah. But those last 6 matches have been in a 2-year time span. This isn't unfortunately, this is not the 1980s anymore. People are not willing to sit through that kind of storytelling. It's been done. Roman's beat him clean 3 times. 3 times he's beat him clean. When you beat somebody clean that many times, the rivalry should be over. There's just no point in continuing it. I understand that above anyone else in the company, Brock sells tickets.
Brock equals box office.
Yeah.
That's the reason.
Brock
But
sells
if you
tickets.
have to do it well. That's what I'm saying. If this is what you've got to go with, Vinnie Mac, okay, I get it. Fine. Cody's hurt. All well and good. But please, for the love of God.
Big power slam.
Looked like he was trying to give poor Theory a prostate exam there. The grip he had. I mean, he was. I could see some white knuckling going on there. You ever notice? Well, I mean, I'm sure you do, but the thing that I really pick up on Theory in all of his matches, regardless of who he's with, his individual work always looks so crisp, so perfect. It's like a younger Shawn Michaels, you know. The in-ring work is just snap, spot on.
He reminds me of his namesake, Stunning Steve. He works like Stunning Steve Austin, not Stone Cold Steve Austin, Stunning Steve Austin.
They did work very differently. I will say this. I did like Stunning Steve. I thought Stunning Steve was a tad sloppy at times when I've gone back and looked at some of his stuff from like 91, 92, so on. And obviously he was younger. You know, with age you improve. But he does have some. I had never thought of that. I will give that. He does have some Stunning Steve to him. But I love how good his in-ring work is. Like I can forgive a crappy gimmick if I watch your matches and I'm like, man, brother, that was good.
Right to the eyes.
Classic heel move.
Using the spear. I like it. It'd be nice
Is
to
that
pick that
possibly
huge
the most
frame up.
overused move of the last quarter century?
What, the spear?
Yeah, spear.
No, the cutter. It's the cutter, man.
Really?
Yeah, think about it. Well, and not in WWE. In WWE, Randy Orton has the RKO, so they don't really let anyone, with the exception of Cody Rhodes, who does the Oz cutter now, they don't really let a lot of people use the cutter in WWE. But if you go to just AEW, Ray Phoenix
is the new U.S. champion.
Oh my God, Lashley is the new... I did not see that coming.
Son of a bitch, Devin won the title back.
I did not see... Did anybody see that coming? I think we all had Theory in this match.
What? What? Huh?
I mean, it makes sense because it's Bobby Lashley. Who the hell's going to beat Bobby Lashley? But...
He's almighty. He's also bleeding poorly from the mouth.
Yeah, I think he got caught around... Yeah, I don't know when he got caught. I think it was a random knee.
See, Theory, just when I start to brag on you.
Wow, I was right, Andy. I don't think any of us expected that. I mean, nobody breaks the Hurt Lock, but... I really... Ooh, what do we got here? I think we were all kind of hoping that Bobby would win, but we all predicted that Theory was going to keep the belt. The only thing I'm thinking is this frees Theory up for a big push.
Either freeze him up or for a good rematch at SummerSlam. I don't know. I mean, I've got a soft spot for Bobby
Thank you,
Lashley.
Timmy. Apparently it was the rolling drop kick from Theory that caught him in the mouth and caused the bleeding.
I've got a soft spot for Lashley because he's worked so hard for so long and just seems like he's always gotten the short end of the stick.
He's one of my brother's favorite wrestlers, and by proxy, he's one of my most appreciated wrestlers. Bobby can make the title look stronger, Andy. I will agree with that. because he's a former world heavyweight champion.
And
Yeah,
again,
agreed. It does take the belt away. And he's
Like
making
you-
a good point. It takes the belt away for the Cena Theory match, which makes it more about theory than rather about the belt.
which could bump it up to SummerSlam, though, at that point, because, I mean,
I think they're going to do it at SummerSlam.
not
Cena's only freed up for the next 3 months. Then he's back
Yeah,
on a film set. He's
yeah.
like The Rock at the moment. He's got a very tight schedule, so you can't always book it. He's got 12 weeks before he's back on a film set. Don't know what movie he's doing, but I know he's back making a movie. So they've... Oh, stop crying, Liv. It's fake crying. I hate fake crying. This isn't Ric Flair with a tear in my eye, you know what I mean?
Oh God, one of my favorite Flair. I mean, I've got probably like 10 favorite Flair promos, but that's way up there. I was
That's my
actually
favorite Flair promo.
It's up there. I would say that's my favorite one is the one post finger poke of doom, because to me that one never gets old for me. It was the Thunder after the finger poke of doom, and he just completely ripped the hell out of Nash and Hogan, and he was naming off the world champions and what it means to be a world champion.
Yeah.
And so that one probably number one. Tear in my eye, or tear in your eye, number two. These are
Number
almost
three
like
has got to be
titles
number
for an
three has
album.
got to be fire me. I'm already fired.
Yeah. Of course, and, yeah. I would love to speak some more dialogue from that, but they were kind of cutting Flair's mic at a little bit there.
A lot of it.
Yeah. He and Bischoff had legit heat, which is what made that even better. God, man. So there's three great Flair promos. Him begging Sting in 1995 to be his tag team partner. That was a good series of promos. Not like one individually, but
Yeah.
that was a good little thing there. And then, of course, Flair does Horseman things. You saw it coming a mile away, but even when it happened, you were like, God, I love this.
Well, you got to realize Sting is the most swerved wrestler in the history of the business. He is right. I love the guy. Sting is the reason I'm a wrestling fan. But as far as in kayfabe, he's a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
In kayfabe, the man's a moron. He trusts people all the time. At some point, his son, Darby Allin, is probably going to turn on him. Everyone swerves Sting. And why do they always swerve Sting? Because he never sees it coming. In a 30-year career.
I really, really like this idea. I've never thought about that before, but considering what we're doing next Saturday, save that for Saturday, because
Okay.
I really want to dig into that. I've never thought about it. You may be incredibly correct, but yeah, I definitely want to dig into that further, and we'll have 45 minutes minimum.
Happily.
We're going Broadway, folks. We're going Broadway.
I can't wait for it. I really can't wait. You've no idea how excited I am to rewatch that match. It's been years.
I think this will be my first time seeing this Broadway.
Yep.
Oh, dude, it's not just a Broadway, Matty. It's the Broadway. Well, it is the blueprint for how every Broadway has been done since. Sting and Flair effectively have the same match they've been having for a year and a half.
Yeah.
On the trip, on
Take it
the
an hour.
well, as the old saying goes, if the car ain't broke, don't change the wheels.
Yeah.
The car weren't broke. It didn't matter in the territories because you could have the same match 5 times in a week because you were doing it in front of 5 different crowds.
Well, I will say there was.
Yes, Flair yelling at Carlito was ace.
I'm trying. I think it was 19 either 74 75. There was an NWA Broadway. I think it was Dory Funk Jr. and Jack Briscoe had a 60-minute Broadway
Over the Mid-Atlantic Championship.
Yeah. Dory Funk Jr. and Jack Briscoe, their Broadway back then, that was like the Flair and Sting's was like the next great one in the Broadway lineage, but they did it even better than Dory and Briscoe did, because yes, they went Broadway, but it wasn't just a title. They were telling the story like of Sting, you know, like Flair in 45 minutes took a guy who was, you know.
Give us 1 sec, Brandon. No, Timmy, you didn't miss anything on SmackDown except Madcap Moss getting added to the men's Money in the Bank match.
Which
other than that,
good.
Other than that, there was a face-off between the Usos and the Street Profits. Maybe a bit more hype for that match. They both used each other's promos. Natty and I don't think Natty and Ronda had a face-to-face this week. That was the week before. But no, nothing much happened on SmackDown. You didn't really miss anything.
I think it was 1972. Dory Funk Jr. and Jack Briscoe. 72, not 74. I was incorrect there. But I also wasn't born until 87, so cut me some slack.
Come on, dude. I was born in 83, and I wouldn't have got those dates right. Anybody else excited for this match?
I'm excited because Bianca is just, I don't know how to put this. Her work is great in the ring.
You're welcome, Timmy.
I don't buy her as champ. I don't know what it is just yet. I just don't buy her as champion at this point.
Bianca, are you insane?
Possibly.
Seriously, I'm on medication, man. What's your excuse?
I'm on medication too.
Bianca Belair.
Okay, what are you taking versus what I'm taking? Let's see who's crazy.
I don't bring up my pills on TV. But no, Bianca Belair is probably the best athlete in the company, not just the division.
No, it's not the in-ring work. It's the gimmick, or it's like I can't put my finger on it. I just can't get into Bianca.
Yeah, I hate to say it. I hate to say it, dude, but that's because you're whiter than snow.
This coming.
Oh no! I'm as white as Christmas. Right? I'm as white as Christmas. But the fact is, Bianca is cool.
And Matty's
She's
up in
cocky.
the snow-covered mountains, and he's got more of a tan than either one of us.
I don't.
Well, Matty's cooler. I'd say Matty's probably cooler than the pair of us. So.
I've hung out with him. He's far cooler than I am.
Oh, that is.
She's
really
peacocking.
That is actually really nice gear.
She's peacocking. To be honest, I always like Carmella's matches. I've watched we've all seen her whole career since she started in NXT. She's come so far in a short amount of time, and she's become Mrs. Reliability. Whenever there's a problem in the division.
Did you see that?
The money. I saw it.
What the? Are you kidding? Go back and pick it up, sister.
Oh, they're JBL notes, and you know they are.
If someone saved their JBL dollars from a random ass 2006 SmackDown,
Well, they could be Okada bucks. Depends how big a fan they are.
I was going to say, you know, Nick, Matty, you can back me up on this. There's moments when you see a guy get a new gimmick, like get a new twist or a new promo, whatever, and it is like within the first 20, 30 seconds, you're like, this is going to be, no pun intended, Money in the Bank. When I saw the first JBL promo, I was like, this is going to be money. Like, this is exactly what he needs. This is going to work. Because
right
basically
away he was able to get people to hate him.
But on steroids. So, yeah. You mentioned JBL.
It's like, Kim's mentioned it here. It's the similar thing with Carmella. Wasn't a huge fan of her when she first came in. But over the time, she's grown on me. She's a good worker. She's good on the microphone. She looks fantastic. She's got everything that's necessary to be a WWE superstar.
Well, look at her outfit. It is money. It's Benjamin's.
And
she's going to Zack Ryder.
I was going to say the Ruby Riot, but...
Hey, you got to give Ryder his credit. He did it way back in, like, 2008.
He did it first. And now his wife does it in matches.
Really? I don't see a lot of Chelsea Green stuff, unfortunately.
Considering she's still working with a busted wrist, she's doing really well.
Still.
Yeah, she's still working with a busted wrist. It's never healed. She healed her left wrist, then she busted her right wrist.
You remember, was it 90, 91? Mick Foley, when he was Cactus Jack, he broke his wrist.
Yeah.
And didn't have, insurance or money for surgery to get it fixed. And it just healed wrong. And that's why you always saw him doing that, because that wrist that he broke, he just never got it fixed and it healed wrong.
This match should be good. Like you
Yes.
said, Nick,
She has become reliable.
Carmella's not a bad wrestler. She's reliable.
No. It's like Timmy's just said. She's become very, very reliable in the last few years. And I know the term good hand gets thrown around a lot, but she's legit a good hand now. It's like you can trust Carmella to have a good match with any of the girls on the roster. She's not going to blow it out the park and have a 5-star classic, but she's going to have a good, passable match.
Which is also, I'm not trying to knock a lot of the younger guys in the business right now because they're still learning, but there is a shortage of hands when you really get down to it. There's a shortage of hands in the business that, regardless of the opponent, the situation, whatever, you can put them out there in the ring and you are going to get a good match.
It's like Sean Spears. Sean Spears, great hand.
He does not have bad matches.
No, great hand. He's never going to be the guy, but you can put him in there with anybody and he's going to throw it and knock it out of the park. Look what he did for Wardlow. Yep. Wardlow's green as a gourd.
Speaking of...
I haven't heard the phrase green as a gourd. I've heard green as grass, but green as a gourd, I haven't heard that one in a while. Good drop, Nick.
I'm old, dude.
So am I. I'm only like 4 years.
That's 4 years, my junior. I'm 40 next year.
I'm 36 next year.
Yeah, well, you're still younger than me, Cap.
I'm 24.
Yeah, shut up, baby.
Maybe if my plan works out and, I can retire wealthy and move to the land of my ancestors to the UK, you and I can share a room in the nursing home. It'll be like Beavis and Butthead. They're just sitting there in their wheelchairs. Whichever one croaks first, he just runs over them.
Shut up, Beavis.
Jesus fucking Christmas.
Damn it. I wanted her to do it.
I love Beavis and Butthead.
Oh, Beavis and Butthead! Oh, you little bastards! Oh.
There's so many people in our audience who have no idea what we're talking about.
We've gone off the reservation, folks. We snapped into 1995 MTV all over again.
Just barely in my childhood range.
I was going to say, you must have been like 4 when Beavis and Butthead was big on MTV, Matt.
Dude, Maddie, I still have up in my office the original first edition bobbleheads of Beavis and Butthead still in the box.
Fuck yeah.
Those things, that's like my tie to my childhood,
Dude, screw tie to your childhood. That's like $600-$700 sat in your wardrobe. Sell that crap.
Dude, I've got stuff. Trust me, up there in my vault, I guess you might say, there's...
Look at the raw power Bianca Belair has.
The crazy thing about Bianca's strength is she doesn't look it. She's not a Raquel Gonzalez that's a
sprinter.
Yeah, she's not a Raquel Gonzalez that's like a body girl. But the power she prevails is just unreal. Look at them shoulders.
Yeah, it's not like she's overbuilt in any one part of her body. She's just a stout woman.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not gonna lie. I was with Brandon whenever I first saw her in NXT, because I was like, oh, they're giving her, an athlete background. I thought they were going back to, what they're doing now.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, they're just giving her this athlete background. And then the first match I saw with her was her versus Candice LeRae. And that's the match that turned it 100% around. And after that, I was 100% invested in Bianca.
Well,
if you get the chance, Brandon, go watch her old NXT stuff. Start from the Candice LeRae match and go forward, because that is an incredible run in NXT.
The stuff with Shayna was amazing.
Amazing.
Well, again, my complaint with Bianca, it's not the in-ring work, because I've never seen a match with her that I don't like.
But you'll get more of her character if you do go back and watch that NXT run, because it shows more of who she is.
She's one of the few people that got brought up from NXT that they didn't change.
Yeah,
they pretty much presented her as is.
It's just for some reason in NXT it was a little more unfiltered. She was able to be herself a little bit more, as opposed to the cut and dry crap that we get with most promos now.
No, she wasn't scripted back then.
Gentlemen, I got to take a quick timeout.
Fast for a break.
I got this. Oh, we got a. What does she call this? Oh, I thought she was going for the...
It looked like a Rings of Saturn, but...
Yeah, I thought she was going for like, the Rings of Saturn. Oh, Jesus.
It's kind of a modified octopus.
Yeah, just without the leg attachment.
Hmm. I always wonder just how many wrestlers have sponsorships with Nike.
With Nike?
Yeah, because they all wear Nikes now. Like, I mean, I know the Young Bucks and the New Day kind of started it in recent years.
I was about to say, I'm pretty sure Kofi is sponsored by Nike.
He has to. He gets custom kicks all the time.
All the fucking time.
Do you see the Mercury ones he got last year with the wings on?
Yes.
Yeah. They're like
$4,000
$4,000 sneakers. Who the hell pays $4,000 for a pair of trainers, man? You're gonna wear them on your feet.
Yeah, that was the Young Bucks, wasn't that? With their Nike Dior bullshit that they had.
Gotta be a Nike contract. Oh, here come the squats.
Bianca's so powerful.
It's ridiculous. Muscled her up then as well. Carmella nearly sandbagged her and she still got her up.
That's exactly what Nick just said.
That's a lot of tit.
My girl just said that's a lot of tit to hold up.
Go on, Bianca. What amazes me about Bianca Belair is the fact that she can wrestle with that hair.
It's the fact that she can wrestle with the hair. It's not a burden to her, but she can also use it.
Yeah, she incorporates it into her matches. And it's legal, which is what I appreciate.
It's a foreign object. It's not foreign, it's attached to her.
Oh, I hate that spot.
Because that can go so wrong so quickly.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's as bad in WWE since they now put the LED cases around the ring post.
Bro, remember Batista back in like 07,
Yeah.
08? Just full right through it.
Kurt Angle, same thing. I mean, Kurt was horrible to watch every time with his neck.
A lot of those older guys would just full... Brock Lesnar too, like he would run into it so hard that he would throw himself out of the ring.
Yeah, same with Triple H. My brother calls it the Triple H spot.
Triple H has a lot of great sells. Like whenever he's going up and over the ropes, he'll grab the middle rope and just go.
It's an odd take, but Triple H, in my opinion, is underrated.
Oh, ridiculously
because even though he was like at the top of his game and on top for the entire Reign of Terror and everything else like that, no one really gave him the credit he deserved.
That's a forceful KO.
And we are done.
Jesus.
And 3.
That match is exactly what it needed to be. It wasn't too long.
No, it was a good, solid showcase. Mella looked good. Bianca came across as strong. I tell you what, this is moving along at a fair old pace.
That's 3 down already.
Oh.
We got 3 left, and it's only 7:15 my time.
What do you think? 45 minutes for the men's Money in the Bank?
It's gotta go long, right? Because there's no way this show's going less than 2:30, right?
No, surely not. It was supposed to be a stadium show. You wouldn't think they'd do it in under 2.5 hours.
Yeah, a short time delay isn't too bad for y'all, Timmy. As long as you don't throw too many spoilers in the chat.
Yeah, just don't actually tell us what's happening until you hear us talking about what's happening.
Yeah, it's good to have a little bit of a time delay for you because, hey, you get to see a little bit before us. As long as we're time synced, that's what we're worried about.
And it doesn't do what it normally happens.
Oh, I was about to say, if you were here with us for the SummerSlam last year, Timmy,
Oh,
we've come a long way in a year.
well, for a start, I'm not using my phone. So,
I do apologize in advance. It is the 4th of July here in the States. My neighbors are setting off fireworks, so if you hear any odd noises, it's them, not my.
I've got to ask, you're both American. Why is it, right, we do fireworks at New Year's and on Bonfire Night. Now, you know about Bonfire Night?
You guys have a bonfire night? That sounds awesome.
Okay, Bonfire Night. Remember the 5th of November, Gunpowder, Treason and Plot. We basically celebrate a man called Guy Fawkes, who attempted to overthrow the government and blow up the Houses of Parliament. It's an insane holiday.
The guy that the anonymous mask is based off of.
Yeah.
Yes.
I do
exactly
know him. I know of him.
Okay, well...
So it's to celebrate him?
Yeah, Bonfire Night is him, the 5th of November. Now, we do fireworks that night for obvious reasons. It was about blowing stuff up. So we blow stuff up. Why do you guys do fireworks on the 4th of July?
I can answer that for you.
Uh-huh.
John Adams, after the Declaration of Independence was signed and was passed by the Continental Congress, John Adams wrote a particular piece that stated that this day should be celebrated every single year with gunfire, with pomp and ceremony. I forget the exact wording, but it was John Adams who initially got that started in this piece that he had written, stating that, we should, celebrate with fireworks, fire and cannon fire and all that. So you want to so there you go. Thank John Adams for fireworks on the 4th of July.
Andy,
I feel for you, Timmy.
Day, guys.
I absolutely hate fireworks as well. They're a bloody nuisance. I have pets, and my pets hate fireworks, therefore I hate fireworks.
I love explosions.
Speaking of which...
I love shooting. I love explosions. I can't get enough of it. But also at the same time, my dog is going nuts upstairs right now.
I bet he is. My cat doesn't like them either. Right, I'm bathroom break, guys. Hold down.
Gotcha.
No worries.
Who knew the captain could whip out some John Adams to instantly answer his British brother's question?
Yeah, I was about to say, I didn't even know that. I was about to be like, because we like to celebrate.
Oh, trust me, I've hung out with you. I know you like to celebrate. That was not a fun drive back after the Rumble. That was thank God for caffeine and constant chain smoking to get me back from St. Louis to Fayetteville.
That flight back was something else.
There was not much left of me after that last night in St. Louis. I was just like,
bro, I was just happy we were able to catch those 2 playoff games as well.
Oh, dude, oh gosh, it was the most fun I've had in a hotel room since I used to play rock and roll. I'll put it that way, and that is no joke.
And we had one of the best seafood places I've ever had in my life.
Oh man, that Boyle House. Oh my good God. That was so good. Well, actually my boss, my new boss, she lives in St. Louis and she knows about that place. And she was like, yeah, you guys lucked out.
Yeah, we did, especially since it was empty and everything on the day of a big
event. Yeah. It was like us and 2 other tables. We just lined up the drinks, bring out the buckets of crawfish and sausage. And
oh, it was so good.
I did find it pretty funny that Devin sometimes has trouble controlling the volume of his voice, and he was dropping some unnecessarily loud F-bombs in that little restaurant.
Oh, me and Devin are just unnecessarily loud people.
Well, you're brothers. You yell at each other like you have one volume.
You should meet my brother, dude. He's the loudest person I know.
I've been told that I have a very loud voice, so when I'm with people, I tend to try to talk a little bit softer. But I was hanging out with a lady friend about a month ago, and she was like, "You've got a pretty loud voice." I was like, "I'm actually trying to talk underneath what I normally do. Like, you don't want to hear me raise my voice." She was like, "Do it." So I actually did, and she just like jumped.
We got a weird thing going on with Alexa Bliss.
What in the hoot nanny?
It's a fucking ad.
Oh, God.
It's a fucking ad. I turned up my TV for fucking nothing.
Oh, for the love of all that's holy.
I hate this.
Hey. You can't see the shades, but I'm rolling my eyes big time right now.
What in the unholy matrimony?
This is terrible. I'm all for stupid bollocks in wrestling. I love goofy bollocks. I think wrestling should have more goofy bollocks, but that is the wrong type of goofy bollocks. Now this should be a great match.
Yes.
Oh.
Who are you both picking?
I'm going with the Usos. I don't think Profits are taking it off of them until SummerSlam.
Yeah, I'm going Usos, but when I looked at the card, I was like, yeah, this is, unless we get a Elimination Chamber Viking funeral like we got.
Uso just slapped himself in the face with that SmackDown title.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, that does remind. I do need to grab one thing. I will be back. Give me 30 seconds.
What?
What?
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh no, they've got the statues as well. At least it's not like Romans where they look like they've just got shat out of the statue.
Bro, not everybody needs a goddamn AR.
No, and they certainly don't need AR statues.
I love Pat McAfee.
So do I. I think Pat's an amazing contribution to the company. On a different mighty note.
Yeah,
yes, they do look horrendous, Alex. Like, deplorably horrendous, should I say? Yeah, I guess question back. So, oh, nice. Yeah, dude, you got like 700 quid sat there. They're in like A-rank condition. Have you got them in thingy boxes?
Yeah.
Yeah, you should sell those. They're like $700 each.
As mentioned, statues and AR, so I thought, oh, perfect time to break out the boys here. Yeah, never been opened, still in the box. The original.
Nice. Yeah, Matt, so what is your opinion? I hate Logan Paul on a personal level.
Oh, on a personal level,
I think on a personal level, yeah, so do I. After the shit he pulled, did you know he's still wanted in Japan?
Yeah, no, he's not allowed to go back.
Yeah, he's not allowed to go back or he's going to get put in jail. After all the crap he's pulled, do we really think he's a good... I mean, I'm not knocking credit where credit is due. He did a phenomenal job at WrestleMania. Like, he did an amazing job as a celebrity at WrestleMania. What are you two going on about?
Wanted, dead or alive.
Yeah, but do we really think he's a good addition to the WWE roster?
Me personally,
you look pretty good, man, and he's got followers.
He's got followers. He did good in one match. I guess we'll give him time, but you know, I saw someone say, "Oh, he'll become WWE's Ospreay." No, the fuck he won't.
No, he won't.
Shut the fuck up.
No, shut up. Will Ospreay is the man of unbound talent.
Logan Paul had one good match at WrestleMania, which is a spectacle show as is. Yeah, so we weren't expecting much.
And it was a tag match, so we only had to do half the work.
But, you know, Miz is a good partner. So...
Well, Miz is what we were talking about earlier. Miz is a great hand.
Yeah.
Like, I would put him up there with, like, and you guys might give me a lot of shit, but I'd put him up there with like the Mr. Perfects in terms of how good of a hand he is.
He's the
being
honky
able
tonk
to
man.
work with everyone.
He's the honky tonk man. He's the honky tonk man.
Yeah, yeah.
Miz is the
agree.
modern day honky tonk man. In tradition, you can even compare what he did for the Intercontinental Championship to what Honky did for the IC title when he had it.
100%. Yeah, I'm with Brandon. That's a much better comparison.
Yeah,
Now,
Kurt Hennig was a top 5'7" in-ring worker ever. Miz, the gimmick, I hate it, but you know he can work.
I freaking love Miz's gimmick because it suits him so well. Because yet again, it's another one of them guys that's just playing himself with the volume turned up, and that's the best wrestlers. The best wrestlers are just playing a version of themselves with the volume turned up to 11. Agreed.
Good Spinal Tap reference there, by the way.
Thank you.
At the same time, it's like, you know, if I can't stand, but I can get past the gimmick if the in-ring work is great, and that's the thing with Miz. You know, it's like, okay, yes, bell to bell between the ropes, love you. Everything before that. No, it can't be played. It's still got the tagger there on it. You know, it cannot be ever be played.
Yes, he is a horrible human. Just to throw it out there, Will Ospreay may be a phenomenal wrestler, but from my personal experience, he's an arsehole.
Personal experience? You met him in person?
I've met him twice. I went up to congratulate him about a match that he just had because it is still him versus Speedball Mike Bailey, WCPW 2 years ago.
I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah, it is one of the finest matches I've ever seen live in my entire life. I congratulated Speedball about it. I said, thank you so much, blah, 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 blah. I went over to say hi to Will Ospreay and I basically got told to fuck off. By his girlfriend.
By B?
Yeah, by his girlfriend. All I wanted to do, I didn't want an autograph, I didn't want to do anything like that. I just bought one of his t-shirts, and I basically got told to fuck off by his girlfriend.
In all fairness, though, MJF would tell you the same thing.
Yeah, but MJF's in character.
He never breaks character. He's MJF is MJF, and he's my new candy boy in pro wrestling. There's just like nothing that guy can do, but that's me.
Is anybody else in a difference of opinion with me here that anybody could be Angelo Dawkins? Like you can pick any African American wrestler and make him Montez's Ford tag team partner, and he'll do a better job than Angelo Dawkins.
Now, I've actually really liked Angelo Dawkins and Tez as a combination. I think they've got such a good chemistry, so that's why they've worked together so well for so long.
Okay, well, let me throw this to you, Maddie. Here's the comparison that I'm thinking. The original Hart Foundation, Bret and Neidhart.
Yeah.
You could have put just about anyone similar to Neidhart build and personality-wise in that tag team, and nothing changes because
Tugboat would have done the same job.
What was that, Nick?
Tugboat would have done the same job.
Okay, that's taking the rubber band and stretching it to a breaking point.
No, it's not. Jim Neidhart sucks, Brandon.
Well, yes, but Tugboat sucked more.
Yeah, but Tugboat had like 250 pounds on the man. He was allowed.
Tugboat had 250 pounds on every guy on the roster.
Yeah, but he was the Shockmaster, so we have to give him a pass.
We will not be covering that on the table.
We have to. You have to. That has to just be a little segment on the worst ever introduction of a wrestler in the history of the business.
Season
cannot
2,
bring
the worst matches from the history. Season 2 will run the worst matches in history.
But to his credit, I do have to give him some credit. As much as that botched introduction was, to this day, ultimate wrestling blooper of all time, at least he
yes, he was, Andy. Because him and Davey Boy were smoking crack the day before SummerSlam 92 in England. If you didn't already know that.
Full spread.
Yeah. Whenever on my last podcast that the vault, which is actually now folded, unfortunately. But we covered, that was in our first season, we covered the top 40 matches of the last 40 years, and we covered Brett and Davey at SummerSlam, and we were talking about Davey having done Davey things the day before and then gets in the ring with Brett.
And been absolutely hanging when it came to the match.
Yeah, and classic Davey, British term, like, Brett, I'm fucked.
Yeah. I'm fucked up, Brett. I need help.
And boy, did Brett ever help.
Saved his life in that match.
He saved his career.
I was about to say, if people don't think Bret Hart's one of the greatest pro wrestlers of all time, go watch that
It's
match.
also his birthday today, by the way, so happy
Thanks,
birthday,
Alex.
Brett.
This is why I don't relate to the Street Profits, because they're literally the cool kids at school. They're the cool kids who sat at the cool kids table and were on all the sports teams and wore the Letterman jackets. You'll get that, you're American. They wore the Letterman jackets. They were considered the cool kids. I was a nerd in school. I was one of the geeks. I did not associate with the cool kids. Like the Usos were not the cool kids in school. They were the kids that were in trouble all the time.
I was one of those weird nerds who got the pass to hang with the cool kids.
Oh, no, this is the thing. A lot of the cool guys in school...
I understand. I get it. Like, I can relate to the Street Profits. I can relate to the Usos. Because I was in that weird sort of fine balance. Like, I was not an athlete. I was Eric Cartman. I was very short and chunky with a very high...
Agreed, Timmy.
...nasally voice as a kid up until, like, senior year of high school. But I had this weird pass where I can move between the geeks and the jocks. It was weird.
See, I was lucky. Everybody left me alone because I only spent 2 years in high school. The rest of the time I was at home because I was blind. So I didn't really go to school. So when I did go to school, no one was allowed to physically touch me on threat of getting expelled. So all the cool kids and all the bullies were just like treating me like I was made of a Fabergé eggs. And just left me alone. So I got the most peaceful run through high school of any of the nerds. Just everybody left me alone. I kind of became a magnet that all the other geeks would hang out with because they knew it was a safe zone.
I hear the term Fabergé eggs and I think of Bleeding Gums Murphy from The Simpsons. I'm really dating myself there. Yeah, I was actually high school was very painful for me short term, but long term it was really great because I hung out with the geeks, the jocks, the nerds, the weirdos, the drug addicts. I mean, I hung out with everybody because that's me. That's who I don't care, what your background is. If you're the good person, I'll hang out with you. And it helped set me up, further in life because I look at my list of friends now and it's like, good God, this is like an eclectic bunch of human beings. Like, if I were to get all of like my top 8 or 10 friends in one group, it would be like, just the biggest motley crew ever.
I used to have a massive group of friends, and in the long run, it did nothing but cause me trouble. So I shortened my circle. So with the exception of you guys, I only hang out with about 5 people.
Oh, I've always kept a small circle, but let me rephrase this. Like, I've got like my Chris Jericho inner circle of like 4 or 5 people that know.
You have your Captain's Appreciation Society.
Yeah. I've got like the 4 or 5 people that know they can ring my phone 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and I will come running if I have to hop a plane. But that's a very small, short group. Then I've got like sort of the outer branch of like 15, 20 people that I, acquaintances that I hang out with, and they're from all walks of life. And I love it because on any given day I can be sitting with,
what's Timmy saying here?
3, 4 different people, and it's just, it's great. You learn things. You get to
put it this way, dude. It's simple. It's like Tim's just said in the comments. We're too old for this shit.
Yeah.
Right? I'm too old for drama. I'm too old for like chaos and people causing problems. Keep your circle small. You deal with less bullshit.
When I was fucking 16 years old.
It's Lethal Weapon. We're just getting too old for this.
Yeah.
I couldn't handle.
Or Loaded Weapon if you are a fan of Emilio and Danny and was it Samuel L. Jackson? I think was in that one.
We got Big Tez in this match. By the way,
Oh,
Tez put
right to
on
the
like
gut.
25 pounds of muscle.
Easy.
Yeah,
He needed to, though. Like, he's in... I know it's not the land of the giants anymore, but you still got to look the part in WWE. And he looked way too thin for the stuff he was doing.
I mean, you can just look. It's the classic eyeball test. You can look at the Street Profits and you're like, who's going to be the stud eventually. It's like with the Rockers.
Yeah.
You could look at Sean and Marty.
Well,
It's like, yep, Sean's going to be the guy. Oh,
I
Brett's
mentioned
going to
it.
be the guy.
I mentioned it last night in the predictions. Vince McMahon has always made it public knowledge that he believes tag team wrestling is there to create a single star.
Which I'm fine with.
Which in certain cases makes perfect sense. And the Street Profits are a perfect example of that case. Montez Ford is the star of that team.
Yeah.
Angelo Dawkins is just his tag team partner. And that's my argument. It could be anybody that was Montez's tag team partner because it's him that's the star of the team. And like, you watch their promos, all Angelo Dawkins does is go, yeah, for like 10 minutes. Every promo. That's it. Whereas Tez does all the talking.
It's not your Road Warriors, Midnight Express, Rock and Roll Express, Tully and Arn.
It's not there anymore.
New Age Outlaws. It's not your. Which I mean, I'm fine with making tag teams to eventually split them up, but it's we're talking about rare gems there though. There's
Oh yeah.
those moments where it's like, okay, these guys cannot be singles. Like this has to be a team. And I thought when they split the Steiner brothers up, I thought that was going to be death for both of them. But
Look, it was kind of death for Rick.
in the
long run.
Man, he had some. I loved a lot of his work after that. I really did, because he just took that dog face gremlin gimmick, ran with it, and just turned into the legit badass that he was. And I thought they both benefited from it in many ways. Not as much as had they stayed the Steiners, but I love.
Well, I was always a big fan of Rick and Scott, but for me, Scott took it to a different level once they went singles. Rick kind of meandered at the level he was on and dug into his gimmick, whereas Scott Steiner went, right, what can I do to reinvent myself besides take epic amounts of steroids?
I was about to say to qualify what my brother Nick just said. Scott Steiner took it to another level, but he had some intravenous assistance, if you will,
To say the least.
I just realized, guys, after this match, it's fucking Ronda versus Natty, and then the men's Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
Are you
doing like your George Costanza pose there, Maddie?
maybe.
Take it off.
Oh, for God's sake, Maddie, leave it on. Don't listen to him. Whatever you do.
If I see
we'll never get monetized.
And Nick's Andy's in the chat just crying. Oh, we'll never get monetized now.
Oh, brutal crossface from Jay.
Too.
See, now that right there, that's the difference between a rest hold and a work hold.
Yep.
Right? He's not just putting a chin lock on because they both need a breather. He's putting a chin lock on and making it look like he's trying to take his jaw home with him.
Tez is selling like a maniac right now, too. Like his eyes are rolling to the back of his head.
Montez Ford's facials are on Jeff Jarrett level.
Yeah, another great hand. God.
Love Jeff Jarrett.
Did he ever have? I'm trying to think. Did Jeff ever have a bad match other than with David Arquette involved? I mean,
Jerry Flynn.
There was the match with
Jerry Flynn,
Rhino and,
1998.
I was fortunate enough never to have seen that, but
well, it's a Jerry Flynn match. What do you expect? And don't get confused with Jerry Lynn, people. Jerry Lynn was an amazing worker. Yeah. Jerry Flynn was a man who should never have been given a WCW contract.
Of the 173 wins Goldberg had, I think about 37 came against Jerry Flynn.
At least. And it wasn't 197. The figure was 173 and 0.
Yeah.
And then Kevin Nash beat him.
No,
which I still find hilarious.
But about 37 of those 173 were against Jerry Lynn, and then...
Yeah, but about 142 of those 173 were actual matches, and the rest were just like, let's just keep increasing the figure.
We've had house matches.
Yeah. I didn't really have a problem with... Well, and I made this point earlier, like, I didn't have a problem with the streak ending. I just had a problem with the way they did it because it was... I would have ended the streak, but I would have done it a few months later.
Well, no, but this is the thing.
Not with a taser?
That was hilarious.
Yeah, without the taser.
That was the thing, though. A lot of people weren't paying attention to the fact that Goldberg on tour was getting booed.
Yes.
Like, on the house shows, he was getting booed out the building at that point because people were sick of his shtick. And a lot of people didn't get it because when they saw him on pay-per-view in front of Nitro, a lot of those fans were casual fans. They weren't the guys that were buying the house show tickets. They weren't the guys that were buying the merchandise. They were just there to show up and have a good time because WCW gave all their tickets away for free.
Yeah. I made the point in our chat, you know, I would have had him go over at Starrcade, and I would have had him lose at Super Brawl. And I made the point that I would have done a 4-way match at Super Brawl with
I'd have done one
Goldberg,
better.
Nash, Benoit, and who was the other one? The way I fantasy booked it, like I would have had him lose at Super Brawl.
Well, the way I always booked it was you have Kevin Nash lose at Starrcade because of the taser. Instead of Scott Hall using it on Goldberg, uses it on Nash. Because they had a feud going. You don't reform the NWO the next night. You keep them separated. And then the next night, Kevin Nash demands a rematch. Goldberg, being the fighting champion, gives him a rematch. And that's when Nash wins.
I would have milked it till Super Brawl. I think you had one more.
Don't you mean sold out?
That doesn't count.
Yeah, it does. I know there was only like 4 of them, but it was still an annual pay-per-view.
97, 98, 99. Yeah, there was 4 of them.
4 of them.
See, I would have kept Clash of the Champions in place of sold out. But anyway, my whole thing, I would have booked it to keep the belt on him until Super Brawl 1999. And at that point, Benoit would have gotten the belt, but Goldberg would have lost in a fatal 4-way. But
that was nicely done.
There would have been like an injury scenario where he gets taken out by a masked man, and you know Benoit gets the belt, but Goldberg still saves face. He loses, but he doesn't. It's not like the actual pinfall scenario.
I'm still of the opinion if they put the belt on Benoit a year earlier, different landscape in WCW in 2000.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was a great combo by the Profits, Timmy.
Yeah, that pounce into that back suplex was very smooth.
Yeah. The Profits work well together. You can't take it away from them.
They're probably the only tag team other than the Usos that I really enjoy watching.
Well, let's face it, that's because in WWE, they're probably the only other tag team, except for the Usos.
I mean,
it feels like it right now.
Back to your love of comedy shtick, like I love the shtick of Gable and Otis.
Otis? Yeah.
I don't want to see Otis wrestle. I don't want, I want to see them split and see Gable do like, Otis should never be anywhere near, any, I don't know, soup for another Sunday. I've got issues with Otis, but
that was a good match. This has been a really good match.
Oh yeah, it's exactly what I was expecting.
And Matty, you're actually gonna love the show coming up. We're in addition to Sting and Flair, we're also doing a tag team match for your return. One of the best tag team matches of that era. So that's my gift to you.
You said it's Clash '88, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take a look at the tag team in the chat. It's a phenomenal match. It's maybe the greatest tag team match.
You're right, Timmy. Only tag team.
Yeah. They did more in 12 minutes than you'll see most teams do in half an hour. But yeah,
I'd agree, Timmy. I'm pretty much sure that Otis couldn't survive without Gable as well. Like,
He kind of needs to be in a tag team, doesn't he?
yeah, it's like because they tried him on his own and it did not work. Exactly, makes you throw up in your mouth. It did not work at all. Fuck's sake, he turned Money in the Bank into a lunchbox, which was just.
I thought that was absolutely hilarious.
I hated
I
it.
loved it.
No, I hated it because Money in the Bank's supposed to be taken seriously. He didn't even win the match. AJ Styles won the match. Then he just kind of caught the briefcase because AJ dropped it. That doesn't mean you won the match. AJ took the briefcase down. AJ won the match.
That is almost like Otis's career in a capsule turned the Money in the Bank briefcase into a lunchbox. Nick, I love you, man.
Thank you. I try.
But that would also be a very large lunch pail. You know, I mean, you could fit easily, 10, 12 PB&Js in there?
That or a joint of ham.
Okay.
Yeah, you could do that. What's that ham from Uberico Black Label ham, like supposedly like the Rolls Royce of?
Oh, have you never had Uberico ham? It's like $175 a leg.
Yeah, I know. I'm not going to spend $175 on.
I don't need to. We have a store in this country called Aldi that sell Uberico ham legs for $12 in American. It's about £10.50.
I mean,
they're only about this big, but that's all you need.
I mean, I'll go to we've got here in Fayetteville. I mean, we've got a lot of great things. We do have a phenomenal butcher shop. Shout out Richard's Meat Market. You guys are awesome. Like, I'll go there and I'll drop $25-$30 on one of their steaks or $10 on one of their burgers. And every time it's awesome. I will pay good money for a great piece of meat, but I ain't spending holy mother of God, that was
a dive.
I ain't spending $125 on a pig leg. I'm sorry.
Well, the Street Profits are up. The question is, do the Usos want the smoke? This could be it. Nice. Well done, Jimmy.
Nick, Captain. Professor Nick Harrison, friend of the channel, just tweeted out, what if Dawkins turns on Dez tonight?
Oh, that'd be good. That'd be really nice, but at the same time, do we want to split up the only other legitimate tag team in the division?
Like, that'd be a horrible idea, but it's WWE. I can totally see him doing it.
It's entirely possible.
I don't know why, because we still have the Viking Raiders.
No, Andy, you're right. The Usos don't have bad matches.
No, they never have bad matches.
I really can't name a bad Usos match.
I've never seen one, except for the Viking funeral again at Elimination Chamber, which, you know.
Yeah, that wasn't good.
Critch also said, why aren't any of the refs holding the ladders for people climbing?
Like they used to.
There's some really bad spots in that first ladder match.
There was some botchavia going on there.
Well, the klaxon sounded because the refs just giving up on getting people out of the ring.
It's okay. Two of them took themselves out.
Yeah.
I knew this was going to be a good match, but this is turning into like
classic.
Because I know like Maddie and I are huge tag team wrestling fans, and it's been a long time since I feel like I've seen a really great tag team classic in WWE.
There we go.
3D coming. Over.
Jimmy kind of overshot that. He jumped a little early.
What a match.
That was a good match. I just saw a replica of Daniel Bryan's hemp title.
Yeah, I just saw that. Shout out to the hemp belt.
People
Which-
actually bought that fucking thing.
It sold out, mate. That sold out when it first came out. I tried to get one.
You're
For
joking.
Daniel Bryan.
No. We tried to get one. Me and my mate Matty both wanted to get one, and both sold out. As soon as you went online, they sold out in the first day. The thing's made of real oak.
Oh, so they actually like.
Yeah, they were made of like real Hall and oak and everything else. They were proper economically sourced belts. So they were about 1,200 quid each, but they were completely sold out.
Yeah, guys, did you guys see the look Dawkins gave the ring after Montez got pinned? We might.
Yeah.
Professor Nick, I'm gonna have to give you a shout out if you've got this.
Well, he's got a fantastic name, so he's very likely to be right.
No? Oh, we're going to a.
No, it's great to me. The Usos and the New Day did kind of bring tag wrestling back in WWE through that series they had. But for me, it was overplayed because they didn't have any other competition up to the caliber of the Usos and the New Day.
It was literally just those two. Uh-oh.
Well, it's just to make sure that they get another match. Oh,
Why'd
he
the
dropped an
fucking match
F-bomb.
Stop.
He's going to get in trouble for that backstage.
Oh,
His shoulder is up.
clearly.
That's great, though, because that means we get a rematch.
Yeah, we get the rematch at SummerSlam.
I mean, I didn't really want to say it when that actually happened, but I thought that was a bit of a coupling, to use a plumbing reference, a coupling pin, because that, I mean, it happens. You know, it's whatever.
Hang on, what was this? Yeah, I know. SummerSlam rematch. Guaranteed.
I'd be fine with seeing this again.
And I think the
Oh,
Profits take. I think the Profits
Yeah,
take the belts
Profits
at
take the
SummerSlam as
title.
In
well.
fact, I will give this match an HP.
Nice. I will give it 2 fish.
All I got is 2 empty beer bottles.
I do have to ask Nick, whenever you
I
do
just have a
make
bottle of
fish and
Switch.
chips, I'm allergic to fish. I can't eat it. But do you?
Oh, no,
season
these
the
are
fish
sweets.
before- let's say, do you season the fish beforehand, or do you wait till after they're fried and then put the salt and the vinegar on?
Oh, you put afterwards.
Yeah, me too.
Afterwards. Always afterwards. Salt and vinegar goes on the fish after it's been fried.
Yeah, that's what I do whenever I can't eat it. But if someone asks, I'll make that for people. I'll do
That'll actually be a
shrimp and
pretty
chip
cool
for
table
myself.
sit down.
Yeah.
That'll be a
Right.
cool table sit down. The BSK. If you guys didn't get that.
Nah,
commercial.
that'd be really cool. But it's a table for 3 and there's 4 of them.
When can we get Taker on the table? That'd be fun. And another Applebee's commercial. On that note, I'm going to go have a smoke.
Wait, you got an Applebee's
No worries.
commercial? We got Kevin Owens right now.
Yeah. What is it with your Peacock, Brandon? Do you just have a different feed to the rest of America? Every time we get promo packages, you get an Applebee's commercial.
I think
Yeah,
my
what?
box broke.
Yeah, I was about to say, what are you watching on?
It's my TV my 55-inch TV in my rec room, just Peacock streaming
Just streaming Peacock on there? I'm watching on my Xbox.
Peacock
So.
app on my TCL.
Okay, yeah, I was just wondering. What
Love
are you
Kevin
streaming
Owens.
off of?
Me, Xbox.
Same. That was such a great run for Kevin Owens too.
Oh, it was amazing. From when he first came in,
It sucks that it only lasted like what, a month?
6 months. 6 months.
Oh, he held it for that long. Okay.
I'm counting up to his Universal Championship as well. Like
The
his
Universal
whole
title
run,
was great too.
his whole run was about 6 months solid, and it was just Kevin is a Canadian Steve Austin.
100%.
Unfortunately for Kevin, he doesn't have the athletic build that Steve had. So Vince will never push him as the top guy. Because he doesn't look like what Vince envisions a top guy to be. What else we got here?
Timmy's saying he appreciates you and
Ah.
the way you view wrestling.
Thank you very much. I have an odd outlook on wrestling, so it's nice to meet people who view it the same way I do. I think it's just because I'm old. This is a really long promo package.
Yeah, they're going through his entire career.
Yeah.
If only Brandon was here. How long is this damn Applebee's commercial?
But they do have all the meats.
That's Arby's.
Oh, was that up? English. I try to make an American joke and it falls flat in the ass
No
every
worries.
single time. What's this?
What in the hell?
Judgment Day?
Another promo?
And I mean Judgment Day, the pay-per-view, not the...
No, I think it might be the group.
Is this... Right, there's a gold medal. This isn't for Gable Steveson, is it? There was a gold medal flashing up all the way through that. That's Gable Steveson, isn't it?
That has to be Gable Steveson.
But that promo made no sense. The gold medal was completely out of context.
What did it say? Because I couldn't hear it.
It didn't say anything. It was just like
Him walking
scratchy.
through all of that?
Yeah, him walking through halls with a load of scratchy sound effects. Like, that didn't make no sense, but it has to be Gable Steveson, because doesn't he have a tattoo of a crucifix somewhere?
I think so.
Yeah. Oh, and here's what I'm sure is Andy's most anticipated match of the evening.
Oh, this is gonna get 5 stars from Andy in the chat.
As long as Ronda kills her in like 2 minutes, he will.
There's no way this match goes over 10 minutes.
I really, really want Ronda to win because I want Natty to go away. It's an unfortunate thing. I'm not a fan of Ronda Rousey, but I give credit where credit is due. She's had less than 60 matches in her wrestling career, and she's come a long way in those less than 60 matches, and reps make you good. But Natty has had more reps than any girl on the roster, and has never gone anywhere. As I said earlier on, she's got no charisma. Like, zero charisma. You gave this, where she came out dressed as Ronda, to any other girl on the roster, they'd have blown it out the park.
Yeah.
Natty literally made it look terrible. Like she has 5 moves. It's not even the 5 moves of Doom, but she has 5 moves. She has the worst discus lariat in professional wrestling.
So slow.
She spins, then she stops, then she does the clothesline. What's the point in the spin?
Look at Andy's response in the chat.
That's a bit extreme, Andy.
There are no real good pictures of his tattoos. So he's got a rose on his left arm.
Oh, that's a good point.
He has the Stairway to Heaven on his left arm as well. Beast is tattooed up here.
Yeah.
Humble is tattooed right here.
It's Gable Steveson. It has to be with that gold medal.
Believe is tattooed on his leg. Yeah, with all the Christian references, he's got. It has to be Gable Steve. Is that a 666 tattoo?
Yeah, you missed Gable Steveson promo.
It's either a 999 or a 666 tattoo on Gable Stevenson's forearm.
Something tells me it might be 666. Who the hell has 999? That's the number for the emergency services in England.
It's not gonna give you. I'll send it to the group chat.
Yeah, send it to me, and then I will give a better picture.
It'll be on his right wrist.
God, I suck.
It just sent to the. I'm just sending it to the Wrestle Buddy. Jimmy's thinking, was that Wyatt?
Yeah, I said that before. No, we think it's Gable Steveson, Jimmy. Nice. Where'd you pull that out from, Brandon?
I think you're muted. Brandon, I think you're muted.
I was muted.
There we go.
Yeah, I had to pull out the trinkets tonight for Nick. The bobbleheads, the Marco Pierre White books. I've got to have it whenever I leave the room. I kill my mic so that none of the other whatever can be heard.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, have you had a chance to see that yet, Nick?
It's definitely a 666.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something tells me that's one of his early tattoos that he's just never covered up into his sleeve.
Yeah, he just decided to get all the...
So that had to be a Gable Steveson promo. Why else would there be a gold medal in there?
A gold medal, all the Christian references. Unless we're getting some gold medal Amish, dude.
You never know.
To this day, anytime I see the Amish, I always think of either Amish Paradise by Weird Al Yankovic or Kingpin and the Amish family that Randy Quaid belongs to. How many children do you have, Brother Hezekiah?
Right.
None that I know of.
Jocks, watch, ladies and gentlemen, watch for how many times Ronda will adjust her gear in this match. And this doesn't count just taking the skirt off.
Maddie, should you and I take a drink per wardrobe adjustment?
I would if I didn't have work here in 2 hours.
Look, she's already done it. That's one. Literally,
Right.
she adjusted a gear as soon as she took the skirt off. That's one.
That's two.
Everybody's got green in their gear tonight. And it
Well,
doesn't
money's
look good
money.
for a lot of them.
No. I love the colour green, but not in clothing. And Ronda's got her Pride Month stuff on.
There's a podcast here in this, a fantasy baseball podcast here in the States that I listen to every day, and there's a pitcher in the States named Shane McClanahan, and the host of the podcast is a huge fan of his. And anytime Shane has a good game, he always hits the Shane McMahon theme song. Here comes the money.
That's amazing.
Yeah, CBS Fantasy Baseball Podcast. It might help you, Maddie. I know I saw how you're kind of tanking in the standings,
I am not doing well.
but so am I. I went from second place to sixth because my pitching staff is.
Oh, they've made a point of the fact that Ronda got trained by Natty. I'm amazed. They're bringing up actual history between
Was
the
it Pat
combatants.
McAfee that said it?
No, it was Michael Cole.
Oh, okay.
I'm legit shocked.
Michael Cole used history fact and.
I know.
Wow.
Alright, Cole deserves more credit. Did either of you guys watch the first UK tournament from
Oh,
Blackpool?
yeah. Cole's fantastic whenever he's able to not be...
When he
yelled
doesn't
at
just
to his
have
ears.
Vince's headset attached to his ears at all times. You'll say what I want, Cole. Say what I want. Use buzzwords.
Pronouns, pal. Or if he's
That's
got
3. 4.
4.
5.
So if he's got Vince in one ear and then he's got Kevin Dunn in the other ear, I think at some point Michael Cole may develop some form of brain.
Well,
disease.
considering all he can hear from Kevin Dunn is the chattering of his beaver teeth.
Yeah.
Camera cut, camera cut, camera cut, camera cut, camera cut.
Oh, God. Kevin Dunn, here's my message to you.
Kevin Dunn, here's my message to you. 2 cameras is enough.
You know, I would compare, how would I put this? Who's my most hated director? Oh, Michael Bay. Yeah. Kevin Dunn is to pro wrestling what Michael Bay is to American cinema.
Explosions, smash cuts, and real no talent.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I'll go with that.
Yeah, Natty covering her mouth because Ronda kneed her in the fucking nose.
Well, as I said before, Ronda is very green. But considering she's had less than six. No, but think of it this way: she's had less than 60 matches in a career. Right? She's had less than 60 matches in a career. Her entire career has been forced on television. Right? She's had no indie run. She's had no off the cameras run. She doesn't do house shows. She's not gone through the performance center system. Everything she's done on camera. She's come a hell of a long way.
I'll actually. There's green and then there's sloppy. Ronda is sloppy.
All right, yeah, I'll give you that.
Green you can work with. Green you can. You know, everyone said Taker was really. Dutch Mantell, when Taker was in Memphis, said, "Yeah, he's green, but he listens. You know, he'll get better." Ronda is sloppy. Green means okay. You get the basics. You just need some fine tuning. Ronda is sloppy.
8.
What is going on here? So what do we have to? 4 wardrobe adjustments?
8.
8?
Told you, dude. You got to watch. 9. She's not even wrestling 8 minutes. So shout out to OSW for first putting me onto this. By the way, those boys, they're good at their shit. She literally adjusts her gear so much, it's not normal. It completely takes you out of the match. It completely takes it. Like, there's no stakes when Ronda wrestles. That's my problem.
You'd think that with Ronda's position and, you know, financial stability, she could actually get in touch with someone to make her some comfortable, workable ring gear.
Either that, or she should just wear what she used to wear in the UFC, because she was clearly comfortable wearing that.
Not stupendous, pal.
Oh, come on, Natty, get on with the match and stop posing.
Yeah, needless pose.
I'll give you that. Even that snapmare was ugly.
Headlock.
God, Ronda is just so hard to watch in the ring. I know she's like Nick said, you know, she hasn't had that many matches, but good God.
She bumps well, though. She does bump well.
I mean,
Yeah,
if
like
I get,
Jimmy
if I
said
get
that she
hit by a
bumps like
car
she's
coming
made of
down the
rubber.
street going 35 miles an hour, yeah, I can bump well too. I'll bounce like a tennis ball. But, you know, at the same time,
No, but you've got to give her time, right? It's not her fault she's been thrust into the spotlight the way she has. If they'd taken a normal route with Ronda and it had taken 3 to 4 years to get her on television properly, she'd be a whole different kettle of fish.
You are correct in that, but at the same time, I'm saying part of this does fall on Ronda in that she does not at all seem like a student of. Ronda is doing this for the dollar. She does not give 2 flying rat's hindquarters about professional wrestling.
She didn't give a shit about pro wrestling, but neither does Bobby Lashley.
Bobby
Lashley's made it public that he's in
of a hoot than Ronda.
No, Bobby's here for the cash, and he's made it perfectly honest in interviews that he's here for the cash. He doesn't do it for the love of the business.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but he's made
Goldberg didn't do it for the love of the business. Goldberg did it for the money. And I can talk about him without getting kicked off the stream, so yay!
Okay, that's apples and oranges though. Lashley and Burt and what's your name for him?
Gorg.
Gorg. Yeah. Between
Gorg.
Lashley and Gorg, that's apples and oranges. You know, that to me that's two completely different.
Yeah, but we're not talking about who they are in wrestling. We're talking about the reason of why they're here, and they're both here for the same reason as Ronda: money.
True, but Lashley, at least to me, always has had the respect of the craft that Gorg never really evolved. Lashley has gotten better.
Oh yeah,
that was a good transition.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, none of us got muted, thank God. Trying to go for that arm bar. Ooh, that was a crappy clothesline.
See, Timmy agrees with me. She takes good bumps.
And I know I'm a harsh judge. I'm a pain in the neck, but I just.
Why are you rolling through those clotheslines?
Keep rolling.
Pretty much. It's like a lot of Ronda Rousey's matches, the tuck and roll.
As a musician, I have nothing but pure just disdain for Limp Bizkit, but the fact that they gave us the greatest WrestleMania package ever,
my way,
cuts them some slack for me.
Lest we forget they're WWE's favorite band.
You know, as much as I've always ripped on Hunter, you know, I've never been anything but completely praiseworthy of his actual work. I think he's one of the greatest workers of all time.
Well, he's literally one half of the greatest SummerSlam match in history.
Yep, him and Rock, August '98. One of the first pay-per-views I ever bought with my own money, saved up my allowance for, was Bash at the Beach '96, but '98 was one of them. But I will give Hunter credit the fact that he brought Lemmy and Motorhead to WrestleMania. I would say I love Motorhead.
And a Shawn Michaels pose. Isn't that like a contradiction in terms, doing the sharpshooter while doing a Shawn Michaels pose?
I think that's the gimmick.
Well, Earl Hebner's not here, so you know, we're not going to get any Montreals.
This match went way longer than it needed to. Ronda is gassed.
And that's another thing, her conditioning. She never went long in the UFC. She doesn't have the conditioning to have even a good...
She holds the record for least amount of time in the ring for as many title defenses as she has.
That's 15, boys.
Good God.
16.
Have I adjusted my jacket that many times during the show? Good God. And it's 90 degrees here. This headband is sopping.
Can we please end this?
Unfortunately, nope. I think it's like Clockwork Orange. Stop it, please, I beg of you.
I love that movie.
Oh, dude, me too.
Love Andy McDowell.
That's a classic. Didn't he just have a birthday recently? Like 80?
That's why Jericho had them all dressed up like red Clockwork Orange members.
Yeah,
on
I
Dynamite.
thought, I was like, hell yeah, Clockwork Orange reference. But yeah, I saw he had a birthday.
I saw one guy going, why are they dressed like the Backstreet Boys? It's like, they're not wearing white for one.
You uncultured swine. I remember I dated this girl once upon a time who that was her favorite movie was Clockwork Orange, and she had the script just down, you know, just completely memorized.
Yeah.
I mean, I really liked the movie, but I was not like that, you know, to that level of a fan of it. But she would always catch me in these Clockwork Orange things like, see, you're a bigger fan than you want to admit. Like, okay. Ooh.
16.
That's 17. Oh, good Lord, Rhonda. Get some
her
basic
legs
carb.
too hurt for Piper's Pit.
Pit.
Yep. Knees giving out.
See, there's my problem with Ronda. 1 minute she's in pain, then she stops selling and starts smiling.
Yeah, you don't smile while you're hurting. Oh, here we go. Sharpshooter.
Nah, reversal.
Ah, crap.
I think you're about 2 seconds behind us, Cap.
Well, it's all those damned Applebee's commercials.
We were just
Honestly,
saying
it
before,
probably is.
how long are those Applebee's commercials? Because that was the longest Kevin Owens package I've ever seen before.
They went through his entire WWE career after joining from NXT.
They went through the whole menu. Oh, Lord. After the show, Nick, I got a
There we go.
funny story for you. In relation to the reason why I missed Hell in the Cell, Applebee's came into play, but I'll tell you after the show, and it was horrible.
Oh, okay.
As a chef, you'll appreciate it. As a human being, you'll be appalled. And Rhonda lives to adjust her wardrobe another day.
Okay. I don't think she's finished adjusting a wardrobe yet.
Well, I mean, are
She's
we
not
strictly
left the ring.
running bell to bell, or are we going the entire screen?
Oh, no, the entire time she's on camera.
Oh, okay. All
It's
right.
insane. I've never seen a wrestler adjust their... No, oh, they're doing it again.
Is it Sasha?
They're doing it again.
Liv, you're an idiot. Ronda's gonna crush her, isn't she?
Well, howdy doody.
Right. Yet again, they didn't have a plan for the women's Money in the Bank.
Oof. Come on, that's going to be fast.
Liv's gonna tap.
Liv better win this.
Oh, kick the
Otherwise,
knee
the
out.
first 20 minutes of the show was basically pointless.
Yes! Get in there, Liv Morgan.
Hey.
Now Ronda can sod off and be a mum for another 6 months.
Or are they gonna turn Ronda heel now?
Maybe.
Good job, Liv Morgan.
At Death Road to the from the outhouse back to the penthouse, baby.
The impossible dream hath occurred.
Take the hide right off your chest. They're bringing the plunder here tonight, boys.
Holy shit, Nick, I finally realized what you just meant, because the last time Ronda was champion at Money in the Bank, Alexa Bliss cashed in on her.
Exactly. They do it every time. Bailey, like Nikki Cross, cashed in the Money in the Bank briefcase the night after she won it. Bailey cashed in the night after she won it. They don't have a plan for the women's briefcase, and it's saddening. Every year it's the same thing. They introduced it because they had to have one.
Well,
you couldn't
I think
just have a men's match and not have a women's match, but they never seem to have a plan for the women's briefcase.
This
Like
year, I think the reason they did it for the women's was just to get the belt off Ronda. I don't know if we'll see Ronda back.
Well,
if I never see Rhonda in a ring again, I will die a happy man.
I'm not going to miss her.
Didn't she do acting and stuff before she started back with WWE?
Yeah, she was in a couple of
Expendables.
Sylvester Stallone movies like The
Yeah.
Expendables, wasn't she?
Yeah.
And she was in a Fast and the Furious as well. She beats up Michelle Rodriguez.
It's like I told my urologist, Doc, you do a damn good job, and I'm glad I don't see you more than once a year. Hey,
Well done,
congrats
Liv.
to Liv Morgan. I know I give her the Britney Spears knock, but she needed tonight. I mean, she won Money in the Bank in more than one way. Like,
The big
she
question,
needed this.
the big question, not to be a downer on the situation, is can she carry that title? A lot of the time, the champion makes the championship, and the worst times, the championship makes the champion.
But
Can she carry that belt?
here is what I think it leads to something awesome. Rhea will be back sooner rather than later.
And then we get Rhea versus Liv again.
Yeah, but I think Rhea's going after Bianca when she comes back. Both on Raw.
Oh, yeah. But they're going to be canceling the brand split here pretty soon, I think.
I hope to God you are right, Matthew.
I do too.
I would. Maddie and I both have. Rhea Ripley is our wrestling crush. I absolutely love that woman. I follow her on Twitter. She's just. I love her in the ring, out of the ring, and that this would set up something to put the belt on her. I would love that. I would
Speaking
love
of,
to see.
do we
See,
know
I
why-
agree with you, Timmy. I don't think she can carry it long.
Do we know why Rhea got
She can-
pulled from this card?
Yeah, she got a concussion.
Concussion?
Well, she said it's a brain injury, and that equals concussion.
Yeah. I don't know if she can carry it long, but she can be a transitional champion to put the belt in a legit, believable
Yeah.
way on Rhea and let Rhea have a great run that she deserves.
So, Tim's just brought up a good comment, mentioned in the comments. They've only put that belt on Liv to drop it to Bayley.
Yeah.
They needed it on a baby. They needed it on a baby face that the fans give a shit about for Bayley to take it off when she comes back.
Es posible.
SummerSlam.
All right.
Clash at the castle, lad.
Big time.
Clash at
before
the
big
castle.
one.
Hey, Brandon, do you got an Applebee's commercial?
No, I currently have a Drew McIntyre promo.
I'm watching a lame DraftKings. Well, actually, no. I'm going to go have a cigarette, and then I'm going to come back and rejoin you, wonderful gentlemen.
No worries.
Some men's Money in the Bank now, so my pick is Riddle.
You see, as I've stated, I am wearing Matt Riddle t-shirt, his to-do list, but Seth Rollins is winning this match.
I would love to see Seth win it because that would put him in the echelon with the two-time winners.
Yeah, Deshaun, the Usos had a fantastic match, probably the best match of the night so far. Would you agree, Matt? I reckon the Usos, the Profits, is probably the best match of the night so far.
Without a doubt, that's been the best match of the night.
Yeah.
And it's because tag team wrestling is just so good. And whenever you put the Usos in any tag team match, they blow it out of the park.
Yeah. It's the sad truth about the Usos is the one thing I don't like about WWE is the lack of tag team wrestling. It's the one thing I appreciate about AEW. Their tag division is so deep. Speaking of which, have you heard about Santana and Ortiz?
I've heard that Santana might be done after September.
Yeah. According to Meltzer, so take this with a grain of salt, him and Santana are not talking very much. They haven't been standing next to each other in promo packages. They haven't been working with each other backstage. So I don't know if Santana and Ortiz have had a falling out and that's got something to do with it, but I know Santana's been taking a lot of solo bookings on the indies.
Yeah, and Santana and Ortiz have been a team since like 2014, 2013. So honestly, it'd be understandable if Santana wants to try his luck as a singles guy because they're both phenomenal wrestlers.
Oh, yeah. But the thing is, they've been singles guys before, and they didn't find any success until they came together as a team. I think a large part of it is Santana's been totally disillusioned in AEW because they've never been used.
Yeah.
Like
Like
one of the
AEW has one of the greatest tag teams that they have, And
they've done
not
what with it?
once. I think they've had one tag title match.
Yeah, they had one title match against the Young Bucks just
And
after
it
the Young Bucks won the titles, which they were obviously not going to win.
Yeah.
I mean, thank God they're using FTR correct now.
But it's saddening, like, and if it is a falling out between Santana and Ortiz, that's even more like depressing.
Yeah, I know.
Because like I said, they've been working together. And
15 years.
Yeah, if you've seen their old stuff with like CZW and stuff like that.
4-time CZW tag champs.
Yep, they've been tag champions everywhere.
Except
AEW. And
it's a shame because I think they'd have done really well in New Japan.
Oh, yeah.
Like, amazingly well in New Japan, and New Japan is desperately in need of heavyweight tag teams right now.
And they Ortiz may not look it, but, you know, him and Santana are definitely heavyweight tag team.
Oh, yeah, easy. Especially Santana.
And he's put on a lot of muscle, too, so. But, did you watch Blood and Guts on Wednesday?
Oh, what a match.
Did you see the injury, though?
Yeah, that was brutal.
I'm thinking with the way he went down, I think he tore his ACL.
Well, hopefully, which one's worse, the ACL or the MCL?
ACL.
Well,
but they're both,
I hope it was his MCL.
They're both 6+ month recovery times.
No, either way, I hope it was the one that doesn't take as long.
Since this has kind of become the night of trinkets, I got another thing for Nick. The last band I was in, our lead singer took a 2-week vacation to Ireland and brought this back for me from the Guinness brewery.
I effing hate Guinness.
What?
I hate Guinness. It tastes like crude oil with elephant spunk on top.
You know, just for that, you know,
I've only ever had
my favorite beer of all time.
I've only ever had
It's not
Guinness
a beer.
stout.
Don't call Guinness beer. It's stout.
I've only ever had a Guinness hard stout, like the full stout.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what normal Guinness is.
And that's the only Guinness I've ever had. And I didn't mind it.
That's the thing.
Like
I'm honestly worried if you guys ever come over here to like hang out with me, Andy, and the others, you're going to be legless after 2.5 pints of our ale. You used to that limp-wristed jungle juice that you call alcohol in America.
I do.
What was that Monty Python skit? Like, what is it about American beer? It's no, I can't use that language here. Never mind.
No, we can't. I know exactly what you're talking about, and we cannot reference that on YouTube.
Yeah, I can't do that one.
But no, I'm more of a whiskey guy myself.
I'm a bourbon man, so I'm down there with you.
Bourbon or well-aged Scotch.
Lafroig, if you ever get a chance. Fantastic whiskey.
Delicious. Love Lafroig. Glenmorangie. That's another big favorite of mine.
Yeah.
I like Jameson. Jameson's my shit.
I like Jameson.
Irish. That Scotch. Scotch whiskey is a very delicate thing, and there's 4 different regions in Scotland, and they all have their own. Like you got the Islas, which are very smoky, peaty. You got the Lowlands, which are more grainy. You got the Highlands, and you got Speyside, and each region is just so uniquely awesome. I love them all. Each one has their own phenomenal aspect.
This may be the third time I've seen this graphic.
I always knew this is my favorite hat I ever had, and now I know why, because I look so damn good in it, and I just get the best.
I will give you a hint. As a former cocktail barman, and Tibby likes Guinness as well, put a shot of port in a pint of Guinness.
A shot of port and a pint of...
Yeah.
Well...
It's called a red velvet. Do you ever get the chance? Sorry, a black velvet. If you ever get the chance, put a shot of port in a pint of Guinness. It's amazing. Even I drink Guinness with port in.
I cannot drink wine for a reason that I will explain off air. Like the Monty Python skit that I had to sidestep. I can't explain exactly why I cannot drink wine, so soup for another Sunday. Here we go.
Now that's over. The whole crowd is chanting, bro.
Yeah, everybody loves Riddle. That's my pick to win, but he came out first, so I don't know.
Seth's winning, bro.
Riddle or Seth, I'll be happy. Anything other than that, I'll be upset.
If Sammy wins, I'll be happy. I love Sami Zayn.
Actually, this
Now it's fucking Eagles?
Happy 4th of July, my friend.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Nick. Guinness is the best. And we've actually got a really, really great beer bar here in Fayetteville called Brewskis. They've got about 50 or so beers on tap. And if you go there right now, when they've got that knows how to do the right pour, you know.
Oh, look at Seth's
with
gear.
You mean his Nasty Boys attire?
Look at it. It's great.
It's like Ric Flair meets the Nasty Boys.
Ric Flair meets the Nasty Boys, meets
See, Seth's CR wasn't that bad. Still wasn't good, but it wasn't that bad.
Debbie Reynolds. That was the name I was searching for. God, I continue to date myself as this experience goes on. The greatest cash in ever. And I was watching this live with my girlfriend at the time. She was a huge wrestling fan. We, had like the big buffet spread. We watched WrestleMania, and then when this happened, I was just like, yes. There was also, unfortunately, the WrestleMania where Sting got buried 10 feet under. Yeah, the NWO Black and White coming to the aid of Sting was pretty...
Yeah, don't even... Yeah, because that made no sense at all. Why Sting wasn't wrestling... That year, Triple H should have been wrestling Bray, Taker should have been wrestling Sting.
100%. Even though it wouldn't have been what we wanted 10 years prior, that was the one shot we had.
Yep, the one time we could have got Taker versus Sting. Realistically, Sting was in a hell of a lot better shape then than he is now.
Yeah, I mean, I know I've made this argument multiple times. I don't like to see Sting taking the bumps that he does.
I'm in agreement with you, Deshaun. I think this is probably going to steal the show. What time are we on, Mike?
It is 8:30 my time.
So what? This has got about 45 minutes?
9:30 my time.
30 to 45, yeah.
Yeah.
I could easily see them going a short one as well, because that would make it within that 3-hour time limit that they want to hit, probably.
Well, see, it's not like the old days. Like back in the old days, like you couldn't go over that 3-hour mark. Otherwise, you got charged a butt ton of money.
Mm-hmm.
But now,
or you got a Halloween Havoc 98.
Bingo. Now it's not that way. And am I the only guy who absolutely loves this new look Madcap Moss?
No, I dig it.
He looks fantastic, but they've taken away what he had. His gimmick didn't make a lot of sense, but he had a gimmick. They took away his cool music. They took away his attire. They put him in generic black trunks, generic black boots, generic black knee pads, and gave him generic rock as an entrance theme.
At least he doesn't look like an idiot.
You're in South Africa, Deshaun. Our audience is getting bigger and bigger. I'm super happy about this. Thank you for tuning in. South Africa, Deshaun's in. Thank you so much for tuning in. Like, amazing. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for choosing to watch this with us.
Yeah, man. Like, you've no idea how much that means to guys like us. The fact that somebody on the other side of the world is choosing to say hello.
Modern day Terry Funk.
Good description.
I love Sammy. I love Sammy, me.
Sami Zayn is the smartest man in this match.
At first, I hated Sammy, but the more I watched him, the more I got it, the more I thought, no, this is the modern day Terry Funk. And whenever I was picking the last season on the other podcast, we were picking like our all-time War Games team, like if we could handpick, and Terry Funk was on my team because I love Terry. And I was like, yep, this is just the modern day Terry Funk, and damn it all, I love it.
The Brawling Brutes is what they call them now.
Maybe I possibly just call it because you can see Sheamus written on the logo. Please, God, don't let Sheamus win this. Please, please, God Almighty.
Oh,
No.
It would be a great swerve, though.
Omos, Sheamus, and Drew are not winning this match.
When was the last time Omos? I mean, I know he beat Riddle on Monday, but when was the last?
He beat Bobby Lashley not too long ago.
Yeah, but Lashley beat him like 3 out of the 4 times.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Omos. I think there's definitely something to work with there. But I mean, if you're gonna build a guy as a giant, you've got to have him just,
trouncing people.
Old school Frankenstein, just rape and pillage the villagers.
Yeah, but you don't want a great Carl either guy.
No.
No, but that's the thing, though, is Omos is actually athletic.
Does McIntyre cut a ring rope tonight?
I would hope so. That'd be funny as hell.
Freedom.
How heavy do you think that sword is? It can't be a real claymore.
He cut a rope with it. I mean, now that one that night may have been a real one, but I can't imagine he carries a real claymore. You would have to imagine heavy forged steel like that. You're looking at good 15, 20 pounds. Maddie, you've got to work tonight? Good God, you are a trooper.
Yeah, I got to pull about 8 hours from 10 to 6 is my shift, so.
Ooh.
But hey, I get to sleep tomorrow, so.
Technically, isn't that sword legal in this match? Matt, you cannot be yawning. It's like early evening for you.
Oh, my friend. I've got about 3 hours of sleep in me, and I was just telling Brandon I got about an 8-hour shift from 10 to 6 after this.
Which at McDonald's is brutality on a Saturday night.
I know it is.
I worked night shift at McDonald's for a while. I mean, I worked at McDonald's for 6 years, but night shift on Saturdays, I'd rather go through an old school hot water enema than ever have to do that again. The piping bag.
Oh, wait.
It's going to be Brock, isn't it?
Of course it's going to be Brock.
Don't tell me he's going to put Brock in this match.
Brock gets put everywhere.
Okay. Who are they adding?
MJF.
I'll fucking shit myself. Damn.
What did I say? There's your winner. I knew they were going to put him in this match the moment he lost the US title.
Well,
I think we have a winner, blokes.
This match.
It's not MJF, but I'll take it.
I think we have a winner, folks.
I still don't think Theory is winning.
No. I still think it's going to be Seth. But Jesus Christ, the chances of Theory walking away with this thing have just gone through the
Astronomical.
roof.
As Jim Ross would say, business just picked up.
I hope they jump his ass as soon as he gets in.
So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
8.
8. Good God.
So much for less is more.
I was about to make another joke, but I can't even make that one. Good God. Thank God I had the presence of self-censoring.
Dale just put into our group chat, "Let's go, Angry Hat." And Jimmy just gave you credit for calling theory.
Thank you.
Omos just slammed the hell out of Riddle there.
Omos is just a big, nasty bastard. I don't know how else to put it. I hope something happens with him. I remember when we were at the Rumble and he came in, and I saw him walk down the aisle and get in the ring. I was like, man, if this guy just gets the right gimmick, tutelage, whatever, if they do it right, he could be something awesome. But I have been known to be wrong on multiple occasions.
Well, the problem with a guy Omos' size in this day and age is wrestling is now such an athlete sport.
Agreed. Well, all
the-
sports are athletes. I mean, the center has disappeared in basketball. The running back has disappeared in football.
Do you see
Catcher is
Sammy?
disappearing in baseball.
Did anybody see Sami Zayn?
Yeah.
Yep.
Just hiding behind the ring post. Like a genius.
God, I love you, Sammy. I hated you at first, but now, by God, I love you so much.
He just looked at one of the kids at ringside and went, "Shh."
I was going to say the counters for Omos in this match are Sheamus and Drew if they can get on the same page.
I actually got to go through Amarillo, Texas, Terry's hometown once upon a time. I was actually on a Greyhound bus heading to the West Coast, and I was so tempted to get off the bus and just stay like an extra night and try to find
The Chicken Ranch.
the Double Cross Ranch. I was so tempted, but at the same time,
Well, according to Bobby Heenan, it's a mile and a half away from Yakima.
well,
I don't know where Yakima is.
Amarillo to me
Clever!
was just like another version of Tulsa, Oklahoma, only a little dirtier. And there were just some spots in Amarillo that, God love it, great historic wrestling town. But there were some spots in Amarillo I was like, good God, I am going to need a tetanus shot by the time I get out of this locale.
We got Timmy saying Sammy just made this funny as usual.
Yeah.
And Deshaun saying looks like Sammy's gonna win.
I hope he does. I really hope he does.
Sami Zayn wins Money in the Bank. I'm going to jump off this couch
All right.
and go nuts.
Me and Jimmy were talking about this last night.
I might actually
And
try
Andy.
to win.
And Andy, actually. If Sammy wins, they've got a built-in storyline with Roman and the Bloodline. Right? He's been trying to get their
Bingo.
favour. He's been trying to get their favour. They've turned on him. They're not doing what he wants. Sammy can sneak in, go for the world title. Imagine the babyface they will have on their hands if they have Sami Zayn win that championship and bring back his old music to boot.
I was about to say, Sami Zayn is genuinely one of the most beloved baby faces if booked correctly.
Look at his NXT stuff. Look at his work in NXT as a babyface. Compare it. His heel work's been sublime. But Sammy as a babyface is so good and believable.
We got Drew doing the 10 beats. Oh, poor Theory.
Welcome to the big
Pound
time,
on
kid.
Yeah, what did Benoit Guerrero and Hardcore Holly say to Daniel Pewter?
Welcome to the business, kid. After they kicked him in the dick and beat the shit out of him for 10 minutes.
Out of him.
I mean,
Well, that was Daniel Pewter's own fault.
I
Don't
never
let it
like
shoot
to
with
see
Kurt
guys
Angle.
get hurt, but me being that old school fan, the old NWA Midwest,
The hazing.
God, my brain just went blank. Not Jim Croc, Bill Watts, Mid-South, old school, just lay it in heavy. That's why, anytime I see a wrestler who can do that, it's just like, this is why I love wrestling. Just
why I love AJ Styles. First night in WWE, knocked out one of Mrs. Teeth.
Yeah.
Well, that I have no love loss over. Miz can afford to lose some teeth.
When he was asked why he did it, his cancer, gotta protect the business. Gotta lay your shit in, son. Yep.
And hey, I have no problem with guys laying it. Laying it in hard is one. Now, intentionally trying to hurt somebody, that's out the window. But lay it in good and stiff. Give it to him good, boy.
So, come on, Sammy.
So Nick, Brandon had asked me this question whenever that he had me on for his match of the year podcast. Because we're going to go back to the comparisons, and he asked who I would compare Seth Rollins to modern day.
Exactly.
And I said he is the modern day Randy Macho Man Savage, for the reason that he is an incredible worker. No one can put the passion and fire that they do into his promos and in ring that he does, and he can work anybody.
Good comparison.
Could not have said it any better. And actually, what's pretty cool that you bring that up, because now that, unfortunately, with my executive producer and former co-host, and congrats to him, he's actually taken that next step in entering law school.
Hell yeah.
Good on him.
That podcast is now done. But the fact that you were the last guest on our podcast after 80 something episodes, so you were actually our final.
Please tell me it was 83 weeks. Please tell me it was 83 weeks.
I got it. I can check the numbers real quick. God, I hate you, Nick.
It's amazing.
If this is 83 weeks, I'm going to be the happiest nerd in the world.
Bro, if it's 83 weeks and I'm the one...
78!
God damn it. You had me hoping then, Brandon.
I was about to say, it was 83 weeks and I was
Maddie
the one
was
to
actually
kill it.
the final guest on the final episode of the show, which we didn't know was going to be the end, but, things change. And so, yeah, I'm glad I picked you. I was like, it's the last show of the season. We're doing match of the year. There's this kid over on the Wrestle Buddy network. I think he'd kick some ass.
To answer that question, though, who would I compare Seth Rollins to? Rick Rude. Two main reasons. One, Rick and Seth are very good at making people despise them. Not just hate them, but despise them. They also share the same work ethic. If you watch a Rick Rude match and you watch a Seth Rollins match, much in the same way it was similar with Randy, everything is laid out to the letter. You can give Seth or Rick the Ultimate Warrior, and they'll get a good match out of him.
If Pat Patterson is booking.
If Pat Patterson is booking.
I'm kidding.
No. But you'll get a good match out of him. I've always looked at him as like a modern day Rick Rude, just not the body guy. Even though Seth's always, oh my God, you pansy, you couldn't, a dude that big and he couldn't even take a top rope bump off a ladder.
Oh, well, it doesn't matter because Sheamus fucking threw one at him.
Yeah, Sheamus. Get him. I'm a fan of Omos, but he should not be in this match.
I don't disagree with you on that Rick Rude comparison. In fact, I think that's fairly apt. I wouldn't make that comparison strictly because of the body size, but I will throw this out to you. Here is where I think you may have hit some gold here. Rude always played mind games with the outfit.
Yep.
Remember Rumble?
Yeah.
Seth wore the Shield gear.
Remember Hell in
a Cell? He wore Dusty Rose. He wore Dusty's polka dots.
He wore that. So gosh, this is so. I'm trying to decide between my two friends here. Who is more right, Randy Savage or Rick Rude? God, this is.
Well, we could just say he's the bastard child of both.
Yeah.
If Rick Rude,
take Rick Rude and Randy Savage, you clone them together, you get Seth Rollins.
That would be a night of BDSM that could be unparalleled in the history of human reproduction. I kept that one as clean as I could.
Yeah, at least use the acronym, so it was fine. And acronyms fly on YouTube. You just can't use the actual full thing.
I used to have the list of words that were banned on YouTube, like that would get you demonetized instantly.
Yeah.
I used to have it in a PDF form, just so I could pull it up at the middle of work and look at my coworker and say, you can't say that on YouTube.
Well,
I know we can say wanker as much as we like, so.
Whenever I joined the Wrestle Buddy Network, Alex kind of gave me the lowdown on what I could and couldn't do, because the last show I was on, it was no rule. I mean, the lane.
They did, yeah, but they didn't care about getting monetized.
No, we were just trying to do a good podcast. But fortunately, I speak English very fluently. I've got.
That's a lie, Captain. You speak American.
I speak American very fluently. Thank you very much. But I told him, that's not going to be a problem. I've got a very wide vocabulary. I can.
For an American.
Yeah. I can rip anyone to shreds, and I don't need 4-letter words to do it. I can use,
syllables.
Yeah. I can get my point across without ever being profane. So I make it a point to never be profane on the show. He said no smoking on the show. I was like, damn it. But see, there I go. But anyhow, no, I have to walk my.
Oh, I hate those spots with the ladders on the ropes because it just bounces back up and clobbers you in the back.
Slow motion. Sammy hit the back of his head.
Oh God. That's all right. Terry Funk hit his head on many things, and he's just, actually, I say that very sadly. Terry Funk is actually presently, we were trying to get him on the show last year, and we found out through our sources he is actually in a nursing home, hospice,
he's not well.
Alzheimer's, so.
Was it Alzheimer's? I thought it was dementia.
Dementia, Alzheimer's, for lack of a better phrase, he doesn't know who he is or where he is, type of thing, which is sad.
He has moments of clarity. He has moments of clarity in lucid days, like when Mick Foley went to visit him last year.
Yeah, I heard about that. Well, and also, Terry's got to be pushing 80 at this point. I'm not sure exactly. Mick says he has good and bad days mentally, but the reason he stays as active as he does and writes and does shows is, he says, to keep his brain going.
Yeah, you got to keep the engine going.
Yeah.
The last thing you want is for the wheel to be turning, but the hamster to be dead.
I've always said my worst enemy on the planet, and I don't know who that is because I don't feel like I have an enemy on the planet, but I would not wish Alzheimer's, dementia on my worst enemy, because I watched a couple of family members go through that start to finish, and to this day it makes me cry just thinking about it. Watching someone go from being what they were to where you end up in that state. And I mean, thank God I'm wearing sunglasses because one of my eyes is watering just thinking about it. Wow. Yeah, that is to me is worse than cancer or anything.
Oh, it's going for the Randy.
Yeah, vintage Orton. I'm not the only one that's just taken to calling that DDT vintage Orton, right?
No, right. I'll be back in a sec. My cat has just started snoring, so I'm going to wake him up before he ruins the whole stream.
My dog's upstairs with all these fireworks going on. She's just cuddled her. I say my 70-pound boxer is just curled into a ball. I'm like, buddy. It's like, Maggie, you realize you could whip just about any dog on the block except for the Doberman across the way?
Mr. Riddle.
Oh.
Someone better be... Okay, Theory. Thank fucking God. I was about to say, that could have been really bad.
Come on, you stone son of a gun.
No, he's off. No, he's off.
Yeah, you just floating bro off the top of the ladder.
Oh, nice. Replay.
Full bro.
Look, Theory is they needed
not
someone.
catching him.
No, he was the one holding the ladder down so that
Yeah.
Riddle could do the. Oh, we got Omos back in.
Very subtle that Theory did that. You notice? I didn't even notice that until the replay. Good call, Maddie. I was not even noticing that.
Oh, bro, I was just worried about the floating bro just because he has to propel himself off and back. So that ladder could fly forward at
Well,
any
yeah,
point
the floating bro is essentially a moonsault that you bail on halfway through.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Colby, thanks for joining us. I picked Riddle.
Hey, Colby.
Maddie picked Riddle. Nick picked Rollins. I would be happy with either or.
I'm picking Seth because it makes the most sense in my headcanon, even though I am wearing a Matt Riddle t-shirt and want Matt Riddle to win.
Are we going to get the Big Show moment where Omos tries to climb it and the rung just breaks under him?
Oh, that'd be amazing.
In all of the years of Money in the Bank, that is still one of my favorite spots. Is Big Show trying to climb it, putting his foot through the rung, going outside and getting that massive golden ladder.
My favorite spot is still the end of the first Money in the Bank. When everyone thought Benoit had it and Edge just came in with that chair and waylaid on him for about 2 minutes. Absolutely superb.
Did anyone take a chair shot better than Benoit?
No. The Triple H, maybe.
Yeah.
Matthew
Triple H
Justice.
always went down as who?
Matthew Justice
Matthew Justice,
in
100%.
GCW. That boy takes chair. No one should be taking chair shots that are unprotected anymore, and he just
But he
lets
does.
people waylay on him.
I was about to back that up with, yes, Benoit took a chair shot better than anybody, but unfortunately he took a lot of them unprotected. And
Yeah.
I think he took all of them
we know what
unprotected.
happened.
Well, he used to take him when he was going through a suicide dive through the ropes. For God's sake, and just let people smash him in the head with the chair on the way through. It was just not
Colby,
good. It's
it's
not a
gotta be
Royal Rumble,
Rollins
boys.
WrestleMania. That cash-in was perfect for Rollins, man.
Now, a lot of people will go the Rollins one. I'll give you a different one, Colby. Dolph Ziggler cashing in on Alberto Del Rio on Raw. That is the craziest crowd pop that you may ever hear.
Well, now, Maddie,
From a
here's
Raw
the question.
crowd.
What was the greatest Dolph Ziggler Money in the Bank cash-in? That one on Alberto Del Rio or the one on Tammy Sitch?
Ask Dolph. I think it
I
was
can
the second
still
one.
get by with that one.
Let's look at Seth trying to orchestrate a shield bomb.
And look
Well,
at
he is the
Sami
architect.
Zayn clearing house. He is just, it's like he's working for two guys in a van moving company. Good Lord, it's going to take all 7 of them to put Omos out. I love this. Classic gang up and take out the big guy.
The Romans
Boom.
carrying the crucifix colorized 2022.
I love the way they're all like, "Roar." If they're not stood on if they're not down on the floor. It's like, dude, there were 7 of you. So you didn't do it on your own.
Good.
Sheamus had his hand in there.
Yeah. I saw, I was like, man, he's grasping pretty close to the Nigerian jewels. Whew.
Right? There's 6 people fighting. Where's Seth?
Theory? Sammy's
Is he
being the
is he
smart
pulling
one.
a Jerry Lawler? Is he hiding under the ring? A la Rumble 96.
Oh, don't ruin this, Drew. You've got your
Sammy
shot at
win.
Clash in the Castle. Stop screwing with
Come
me.
on, Sammy! Come on, Sammy!
Let Sammy win, please. Oh, dear God.
Oh,
He's got it! He's got it!
ow.
Can we just say Sammy took a really bad bump to the back of his head from a ladder, just like Shotzi did? But
Yeah.
he didn't get gashed like Shotzi did.
No, his face isn't all busted up like Shotzi's. Shotzi ended up with bruises on her forehead and on her face after that match. And blood coming out of her mouth. Like, that's not good.
No.
Yeah, Shotzi got... I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see Shotzi for a couple weeks because she's hurt.
Yeah, neither would I. Her
At
face
least
is banged up.
give the back of the head time to...
And her forehead. You
Yeah.
don't see a forehead. That massive... Looks like a Naruto character that's escaped the village.
I've had a couple of concussions in my life, and it takes you, depending on the severity of them, like
Why
but
wouldn't
even
you-
a mild one, it takes you a
Why
few
wouldn't you
days to
climb up
kind
the
of
side?
get your equilibrium back.
Oh, here comes Petey boy.
Ah, you pasty white ginger.
Get him, Pete.
Oh, here comes the munchkin.
I love
Pete Dunne is amazing. He's an amazing human being, and he's an amazing wrestler. And that's saying a lot considering he comes from Birmingham.
What do you have against Birmingham? Black Sabbath's from Birmingham. Aston Villa's from Birmingham.
No, one member of Black Sabbath are from Birmingham. Two of them are from Chorley, one of them's from Southampton, and the other one's from Essex. One member is from Birmingham, and it drags the entire band down.
Seamus,
You are splitting so many hairs at this point, my friend.
Yes, I am. And I will
But
painfully
you have
count
the
every
right to
single
do
one of
that.
them.
Well, if I was not a Arsenal fan, Aston Villa would be my team. So that's why I have such a soft spot there.
I know, you see, I hate football.
Guys.
Oh, for the love! You're just killing me.
No.
You have knocked
No.
Guinness, and now you're knocking football.
No.
It's gonna be bad.
Seamus, that is not a place to be.
No, just look the way the letter is. Jesus.
That was close. No, but I hate football.
You're British. How can you hate football?
Because I grew up on Aussie rules and it's a far superior game. I hate football. I hate football. That's why I'm a wrestling fan.
We have much to discuss over many pints in many a pub. Whenever I get over there. Whenever I make the trip across the pond.
I hate football. I hate cricket.
I hate cricket too, but I love football. I'm going to dig you out of
I
your
love
cave.
baseball.
We're going to hit a few
I love
pugs,
baseball,
have some
dude.
pints,
If that
and
says
we're-
anything.
You like American baseball?
Yeah, I love baseball.
Oh, see now
What's your team?
Now I just want to give you a big hug.
Baseball's an amazing game. Baseball's like the only game in the world, other than golf, that you can have 12 pints and it still makes perfect sense.
You see now I'm saying you should come across the pond yourself, because my upstairs office is basically a mini baseball hall of fame. My
That's
sideline
cool.
gig is I collect
Sammy.
baseball and memorabilia, like trade.
Come on, Sammy.
Yes, please, for the love of God, you can do it. Sammy.
Ah,
It's Angry Hat.
not angry hat.
Please get
Yes, sir.
it. Get it.
Yes, sir.
That's Moss. Not
Sorry.
Moss. I love you, Moss, but please.
Angry
no.
hat is down.
Oh,
Come on, Seth.
curb stomp. Screw
Come
you,
on,
Vet.
Seth.
It's still an awesome move. Yes, please. If Seth wins this, I have zero issue with that. I love me some Rollins.
Let's get it. That's a big fucking ladder.
That's a Jeff Hardy ladder.
Oh, there's Riddle. He just hit him on the ass.
It's been pretty good.
Come on, Seth.
Come on, Riddle.
Actually, come on, either of you. I'm happy with either of these wins.
Yeah, either works for me.
Matthew No Shoes, come on.
Is that what we should start calling you?
No way.
Yes. Yes.
Boom! And I reckon Theory's about to come in and steal it.
RKO out of Broware.
Nice.
That was smooth.
Randy said, though, in an interview, Randy's more than happy for Riddle to do all these crazy RKOs because it means he doesn't have to do them anymore. It's like you're never going to see Randy Orton do a springboard top rope RKO. Never.
Well, he doesn't need to. He doesn't have to. I mean,
I just realized Riddle's wearing bright green nail polish.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been painting his nails a lot more recently, but it's to match like what him and Orton were doing gear-wise.
You don't paint your nails though, Matty.
Come on, bro.
No.
I'm sure your lady would paint them for you if you asked, but I've never seen you with painted nails.
I swear to God, if Theory wins a punching exchange with a former UFC fighter.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Not only a former UFC fighter, but a man who was kicked out of the UFC for being too violent.
And smoking pot, among other things, but...
Yeah.
No. Please, God.
Of course
Told
it's going
you.
to be Theory.
Told you. Called it. It sucks, but it makes perfect sense. He's going to carry that thing till Mania. He's going to carry that thing till Mania, and he's going to ruin Cody Rhodes' Mania.
Oh my God.
You may not be too far off, Nicholas.
I can't even...
I knew it.
You dick.
He basically replaced one title with another, but this title
Gets
helps
him a
get
world
through the
title
door.
shot.
Yeah.
Nice, Deshaun.
That's a lot of butch there, Deshaun.
That's a lot of Butch. But he clearly likes himself some Butch.
Butch.
Well, that was an event.
Wait. Where was he hiding the cell phone?
It was apparently under the turnbuckle.
That was...
About a man that plans ahead.
Well, as a whole show, I'm thoroughly sports entertained.
Yeah.
It's not the winner.
It wasn't
Go
the
on.
best. It wasn't the worst. This
It
was
was just
a good Money in the Bank. It wasn't.
yeah. It wasn't 2011.
But it sure as fuck wasn't 2014.
Exactly.
Even with
And we
Theory
can
winning,
all be
it
happy
feels
about
like-
that.
It seems like even with Theory winning, they didn't bury Rollins or Riddle, which Rollins hasn't had a big win in about 6 months. And Riddle's trying to ascend to that next level. So it's...
I think they're doing a reverse of Becky with Seth.
Yeah.
The more Seth loses, the cockier he seems to get.
The
And
more
just-
out of it he gets.
Yeah, he gets out of his brain. He thinks he's better and better and better and better and better and better. Right? But in the long run, he's getting crushed. And I think when Becky starts to get success again, that's when that's when Seth is going to start ending up back on where he's supposed to be. Either way,
I hope
folks.
you're right.
Either way, folks. I'm pretty sure this goes from all of us. Thank you so much for tuning in, to everybody that was with us in the chat and in the comments. We love you all. Please, if you can, give the page a subscribe. Check out WrestleBuddy.com. There's some fantastic work going on there. Everybody does great articles every day, occasionally by myself, but mainly by much, much more talented people than I. It's a fantastic channel. It's a fantastic place to be. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. It's free. It costs you nothing, and it helps us out a lot. It's really the only way the YouTube algorithm knows we exist, unfortunately. But other than that, go on, Cap.
Honestly, before we wait, I would like to give a nice shout out. A man who was a big influence in my life passed away earlier this week. Randall Fingerhut. God bless. Godspeed. Be with the angels, my friend.
Right. So that's it, folks. Alex, I hope you timed up with me for this one, because Matty, it's time for your tagline, and then we wave.
It's going to be time for me to tell you guys to stay safe, stay healthy, stay hydrated. And once again, thank you all for joining. This is where we wave. Bye.